Everyone, I'm going to call this meeting of the Holyoke City Council to order. It is Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, and it's 7:04 p.m. Okay. So, I'm going to call this meeting to order. We're live here in the City Council chambers at City Hall. The meeting is being recorded and translated into Spanish, and the clerk will call the roll.
Anderson Burgos?
Here.
Bartley?
Here.
Devine?
Here.
Givner?
Here.
Graney?
Here.
Jordan?
Here.
McGrath Smith?
Here.
Murphy Armbloody?
Here.
Ocasio? Here. Israel Rivera?
Presente.
Jenny Rivera? Here. Sullivan?
Here.
Bacon?
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America. And the City of Holyoke.
And the City Council.
All right, so before we do any other business tonight, because we do have Counselor zooming in this evening, I would entertain a motion to take a roll call vote that for the purposes of this meeting would be applicable to all motions to receive, to refer items to committee, remove items from the table, place items on the table, package items together, comply with items, or suspend the rules unless there is an objection. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
Okay,
Ok.
did that.
Entonces, a eso.
So,
Así que
this evening we have, first up is
esta
public
reunión tenemos
comment. We don't have any
comentario
public
público,
hearings
no
this
tenemos audiencia
evening.
pública esta noche.
So if
Así que si
you,
tiene,
actually,
si realmente
I need to get the list, please hold.
tengo que conseguir la lista.
Okay, come on. It might have been buried beneath other ones.
All right. Okay, so for those of you who are
Okay, para aquellos que,
new
son
to
nuevos
public comment,
al comentario público,
the City Council
el Consejo de la
allows
Ciudad permite,
public comment for
comentario
2
público
minutes.
por 2 minutos.
I will be your
Y yo voy a,
timekeeper.
yo voy a ser la persona que
And when you're
mantiene el
halfway
tiempo.
through,
Y cuando están
I'll
por
hold up a
mitad,
sign to
yo
let
voy
you
a tener
know
una
so that I
señal
don't
para que
interrupt
sepan,
your
para
flow
que
of thoughts.
no interrumpa sus pensamientos.
All right, and then
Okay.
when you're done,
Y cuando
I
termine,
say it's time.
yo digo que es tiempo.
And we just have
Y
folks
luego tenemos
come up
personas
to
que
the
vengan
microphone
al
there, make
micrófono
sure that it's on.
y
You say your
asegurarse
name
que
and address
están,
for the record, and then we'll go in order
y luego
of what's
diga su
written
nombre
here.
en el
And
récord y
if
vamos
there's
en orden.
anyone
Y
online,
si hay cualquier
we will
persona
also
en
give
línea,
them the opportunity to
también
speak.
le damos la oportunidad para que hablen.
So with that, I
Así
have
que con
Claire
eso,
from Linwood
tengo
Ave. Claire, welcome.
clarificado con cómo verá.
Oh, yep, it's,
Is it on?
yes.
Fabulous. Hi, good evening. I'm Claire. I live on Linwood Ave in Holyoke.
Hola, soy Clay, yo vivo en Linwood Ave, en Holyoke.
Tonight, I would like
Esta noche me
to.
gustaría.
I've been up here several
Yo estoy
times.
aquí,
I've been up here
varias
on the
veces.
correct
Yo he
disbursement
estado
of
aquí
the
sobre
opioid abatement funds,
el fondo
which
de
is settlement
debate
money that the city has
de
had
opioid,
access to for at
lo
least
cual
3
son
years.
accesos para
Those funds have not
de los
been
fondos que
touched, which
han
is
sido
great. But
otorgados
also,
por 3
you know,
años.
a lot of people have died in
Yo
the
sé que
meantime.
muchas personas, esos fondos nos ha tocado y mucha
And I
gente ha
notice here
muerto
in the
antes.
agenda
Yo sé, he notado aquí
that
en la agenda
there is
de que hay
an item
un
from
artículo
committee that
del comité
regards a homeless and housing liaison position.
de la posición
In 2023,
de
when
2023
Mayor
cuando
Garcia
el alcalde García
put out his Ezekiel
Él pone
Safe Streets
su
plan. He
plan de
had
Ezequiel que ha
that
tenido
homeless housing liaison
del-
position in there,
de
and
que
the
la
money was to
posición,
come from two sources, but one of them
de que
was
el
the
dinero
opioid
iba a venir
abatement
de
funds.
dos,
That's not an appropriate use of that money,
de
even
dos
though housing and
recursos, pero el dinero no se ha usado, no se ha usado
situations
apropiadamente.
do strongly affect people in substance use. It's not the primary concern. So if that, and then the flags are that if that was on there in 2023, it means that the intention has been for that position without a public process. And the funding requires a public process and requires it be used specifically for opioids. And I know that this this council doesn't necessarily directly deal with those funds. I understand that. But it does deal with things related to it.
Pero está relacionado con las cosas.
Also, we can't be making sweeping changes to the charter without public input.
Y realmente nosotros
Or
no podemos estar haciendo
disempowering our city
cambios
solicitor.
de las reglas
Thank you.
sin los solicitores o
Thank
el
you.
público. Así que gracias.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me redo my. Up next, I have
Okay.
Richard
Aquí
Purcell,
yo tengo a Richard
from
Purcell.
Suffolk Street.
De Suffolk Street.
Rick Purcell, 279 Suffolk Street, candidate for Ward 4
Appreciate it.
City Council. I'd like to do
soy
a couple of
candidato
corrections to the
para,
record.
Ward,
One of
4,
them is
para
what Claire
Consejo
just
de la
did.
Ciudad. Uno
She
lo
was allowed
que
to do in this
Clara
meeting, but
dijo.
there was a debate in the last meeting,
Recuerdo
and the
una-
city
un debate en la
councilor,
última
Kevin
reunión,
Jourdain,
el
said,
concejal Jourdain dijo,
I led the public speaking
Yo
back
digo,
10 years ago. It
yo
actually
dije,
happened
que la
14 years
persona,
ago, and it took a
hablé
year
hace
to enact,
10 años
and it was
y-
Aaron Vega's
y Aaron Vega.
Aaron Vega is the one that filed the order,
Aaron Vega
and
fue
the
que
city
sometió
council
la orden
passed
y
it
el
after
concejal
Aaron
lo
Vega and
aprobó,
led
y
the
después
effort to
que
get that. Let's
Aaron
let
Vega
the truth be
lo
told.
puso así que,
So that
por
was a
favor,
lie.
digamos la verdad.
2 lies,
Así
actually,
eso fue,
about when it
lo
happened.
que
Madam
President,
President,
are we gonna
have people in
Ohio calling Jourdain.
That's not I reclaim my time.
Excuse me.
You're not allowed to call people in
We
the...
are under the First Amendment.
Oh,
There was
okay, here we go.
Sir.
First Amendment. So this is all
Sir.
prearranged.
no.
Okay.
What do you mean prearranged,
Okay,
Counselor?
dice que
What are you
eso
talking
Just
about?
using my First
I'm not
Amendment.
entertaining that.
I'm using
It's
my
public
First
comment.
Amendment.
It's public comment, and I will now be giving back.
Oh, okay.
Public
This is all
comment.
campaign, just so the public
So,
understands.
Counselor, before
exactly what's going on. I'm not the one that lied.
please stop talking. Thank you so much, everyone.
You're unbelievable.
And listen, so
Go ahead.
Counselor, as an attorney, I would hope that you're familiar with the case that the public can come and say the F-bomb at me for all I care. I have to listen. And that is how I'm running the meeting this evening. Yes, I do. There is no rule that says that, please, why, just, as counselors,
you're not
I'm
the
not
one being
entertaining
called a
this.
liar.
Mr. Purcell, you may continue.
by
Thank
calling
you.
you a liar.
I'm not, okay, great. You also have reminded me that the public, we don't engage with the public. Please continue.
Likewise. I'm glad I'm not running for at large, because then there would be a debate. You should. You
I am, please, Counselor Jourdain, if you cannot stay in order.
This is
I need a
in
new-
violation of Rule 6E. His decorum is out of hand.
Mr. Purcell, I'm keeping your timing, so please continue. Please, let's move forward. Thank you very much.
Before I was so rudely interrupted. The second
Please
part-
continue. Thank you.
Second part regarding the last DGNR meeting. This is an evolution that's been happening in the city council, violation of Rule 6E. Councilor Bartley, for no reason at all, disparaged a citizen in this city, and it was me, by saying, great, let's bring Rick Purcell in, he'll be a big help. Thanks for the endorsement. To the chair who was trying to get him to show decorum, which he lacks. Not only in my instance, as a citizen, a public citizen, but in his instance, when he called him, told him to jump in a fucking lake. And now he is personally...
Counselor, it's
And
allowed.
now he's personally showing crocodile tears over there with his sunglasses on and his ridiculous cowboy hat.
Place is a total joke.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I hope everybody has a great night.
Up next, we have, please, so I can continue. We have Sean Sheedy. Washington Ave.
Washington Ave.
Welcome.
Bienvenido.
When it can't get lower.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Hello, thank you, Madam
Hola,
President.
buenas,
So
señora
I'm just here
Presidenta.
today
Solamente estoy aquí
to
para
talk about on
hablar
Agenda
en Agenda
65, 66, and
66,
67 about school
sobre
departments ask for
lo
the
que el Departamento de
MSBA
Escuela ha
roof
preguntado
projects.
por el proyecto de MSBA.
I know hopefully we can get
Y
it
yo espero
referred
que
to
nosotros
Finance
conseguimos
Committee
referirlo
because
a
it's a lot of
finanzas,
language
porque hay
there,
bastante
and
lenguaje
would love to
y
go in front of
nosotros
Finance Committee
queremos ir
and really
delante
dive deep into it
el
and
Comité de
then go over
Finanzas
everything for
y
this
para
opportunity
hablar sobre
to
la
be
oportunidad
able to replace the 3
para
roofs
poder
at
reemplazar
Holyoke,
los
Kelly,
3
and at
techos en
McMahon
Holyoke
School.
Thank you.
y Mica. Gracias.
With a minute and a half to spare, I
Con un
appreciate you.
minuto. Sí, con un
Okay,
minuto.
no, please. Please stop.
Por favor,
I don't need comments.
no necesito
Your
comentarios.
public comment's done.
Su comentario público ya acabó.
Up next, I have Nadia.
Okay, próximo tengo a nadie.
Oh, just pull it down a little bit more. Oh, it's not actually on. That's sorry.
Is that
Yep,
good?
you're good.
Nadia Schessler, 83 Pearl
Nadia
Street.
Schessler,
I'm here
83
today
Pearl
to talk
Street.
about
Yo
the
estoy aquí para
opioid
hablar
settlement
sobre
funds.
el-
I am a child of loss, and I've been
sobre
working in the
el-
field of human services for
fondo
8 years as a social
de
worker,
opio, y yo he
addiction
trabajado-
researcher, and harm reduction
Yo he trabajado por
advocate,
más de 8
currently
años
at a
como,
hospital and a
trabajadora
drop-in
social y
center
así
for
en
unhoused
el
people.
recursos de adicción.
We lost a community
Nosotros
member to
perdimos un miembro
overdose
de
this
la
weekend. They
comunidad,
found him in a
por
park
sobredosis,
unresponsive,
lo
likely
encontraron en un
dead for nearly
apartamento
2
sin
hours. He
sin
wasn't behind a
respuesta,
bush, he was
muerto
in the middle of the
por
path in
2
plain
años, por
sight.
2 horas.
This
Él-
man
él no
didn't
estaba
die because of an
oculto en las,
overdose. He died
de
because
los
he was
árboles, estaba
alone and there
oculto,
was
pero
no
él
one there to
estaba
revive
en
him. When I heard the news, the
en
second thing I
su
thought was
habitación.
at
Cuando yo
least he
escuché la
won't be
habitación,
cold
él dijo,
outside
por
this
lo menos no va a
winter.
ser frío
This is what the war on drugs does to people. It isolates them, denies them services, including shelter and life-saving medications like Narcan, strips them of every ounce of humanity you could imagine. People are going to use drugs whether you like it or not. Homeless people are going to exist whether you like it or not. You either view these individuals as deserving of love, dignity, and respect, or you don't. Nobody gets a pat on the back for supporting encampment sweeps or denying our most vulnerable community members tents. That's heartless. I hope where these funds go truly reflects the needs and demands of the people most affected by this crisis. I am horrified by the idea that it will come down to one person's final decision, someone who, based on a previous meeting, indicated he was not willing to speak with people directly about how these funds will work and where they'd like to see them go. This model does not reflect what many of our surrounding communities are doing. This city deserves better. There's a saying, nothing about us without us. I hope to see you all, audience included, at the community feedback forums next September 8th to listen and participate in this process. This meeting should be publicized on every city platform, and those of us who are on the mailing list just got the notice today. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, I have Mimi Panich from Madison Ave.
Hi, everybody.
Hola a todo el mundo.
You have my name and address already, so I don't need to
Tengo mi
repeat
nombre
them.
y tiene mi nombre y
There are
dirección.
a lot of important
Hay
issues
bastantes
facing the city,
problemas
but there is
en la
one that
ciudad
I
y uno
think can
que
be
yo creo que
handled in
puede
2 minutes.
ser resuelto en 2
I feel
minutos.
like,
Yo siento que
unfortunately, I really
desafortunadamente
have
yo
to
tengo
talk
que
about
hablar
what happened
qué
with
pasó
the 60A
con-
abatement
con 60A,
Kestrel request to
abatement de
or
Kestrel,
offer to
el de la petición,
be assigned the city's right of first refusal in certain potential conservation lands.
por el tema
And before I go any further, I want to say that contrary to
reuso
what people
de la
have thought,
potencial de
the
conservación
planning
del-
board
y
did
lo que hizo
enthusiastically recommend this when
la
it was brought to
planificación,
us, but we did
la
not
Junta de
reach out to
Planificación,
Kestrel at
nosotros
any
no
point
hablamos a
over it.
Castro
So
a
I am
ningún
not
punto, así que
attempting
yo
to
no estoy
defend anyone
y yo no
personally.
quiero defender directamente a
But
nadie,
here's
pero
the thing.
aquí es la cosa.
60A is
60A
it represents Massachusetts
representa
policy,
la
and
policía de
the
Massachusetts,
policy
y la
is
policía es
that, in part, that cities and towns may
que las
have an
ciudades y
interest
pueblos
in land coming out
puedan
of
tener
conservation
interés
tax status. And
en
if they can't
tierra
afford
que
it,
salgan de
they may
conservación,
have an
y si ellos
interest in
pueden, y si
assigning
no pueden
their
pagar, ellos pueden firmar
right of first refusal
su
to a
derecho de
conservation
reuso
organization.
a una conservación, a una
That you can
organización de
dislike the
conservación.
policy, but to
Se
say that
puede
Kestrel did anything wrong or that it was any
No
way
te puede gustar la
outrageous
policía,
for
pero
them not to
parece que
offer
eso
us
hizo
a
algo
little
mal
extra for Holyoke on the side,
y
which I'm
para poner
sure
un
you can
poquito de
see how
Holyoke
ludicrous
al
it
lado.
is if you think about our asking
Y si
for
ve de lo que
Mr.
nosotros estábamos
Ramos to
preguntando
have
al señor
offered a
Ramos
little extra for something on the
para que ponga
side
un
to
poquito al
induce
lado
us
para
to
que no
not
induzca,
exercise
no
that
parece
right.
saber
Is
ejercitar
we
esa
don't need to do
derecha, así
that.
que no
We don't
necesitamos
need to
hacer eso,
attack
no
people who come
necesitamos
in
atacar a
here
las
and
personas que
offer
vienen
to
aquí
give
y
us
ofrecer
$215,000
para
for
dar
something nice
215
when
mil
our
dólares por
objection
algo
is
bien,
actually
cuando
to the
nuestra
state policy. It
objetiva es
discourages
para la
people
póliza
from coming here.
del
It
Estado,
makes them wonder whether they're going to be the
quita,
latest chew
le da
toy if
miedo a
they
la
do
gente
come
para que vengan
forward with
para
an
acá.
offer. We have lost money
Nosotros hemos pedido
over
dinero
this before,
por eso
and I get
anteriormente
that
y yo
many
entiendo
people
que
didn't
bastantes
feel that this
personas
was
no
worth
sienten que
doing and
eso
didn't like
se
it,
debería hacer y
but
no les
none
gustó,
of the
pero
excuses
ninguna de esas
were
debería ser
at
excusada
all reasonable,
con
and the abuse
algo
is unacceptable.
sea
Thank you.
racionada y que
Thank
sea
you.
abusada, así que eso no es aceptable. Gracias.
And then I have
Y luego yo
Jose,
tengo a José
I'm sorry,
Y perdón.
Adestre from
Adestre
Hillside Ave.
de
Hi.
Hillside.
Hello.
Hola.
My family moved here
Mi
when we
familia
were three.
se mudó.
Can you just state your name and
Yeah, Jose Adastra
Mi
from
nombre es José
139
Adestre de
Hillside
Thank
Ave.
you so much.
139
I moved here when I was three.
Nos mudamos cuando
In this
teníamos 13 en la
city,
ciudad.
the laws have remained the same, but I've witnessed my cousins get shot in the stomach, my cousin be shot in the mouth. I've witnessed overdoses of my loved ones, overdoses of strangers, overdoses of my friends, and of all ages. And I was hoping it would be it would improve, and it hasn't, and it's getting worse. And it feels like in this room that you guys can't even get through each other's comments without an outburst. And there, we have more important priorities. I know that, especially with me and you, we have a lot of differences, but we have a lot of things that we can both focus on, which is we know how to treat drug use, and it's not like doing sweeps and posting on social media like, oh, look what I got today. Look at me. Look at all the stuff I picked up off the street. That's not how it works. How it works is to, and I'm sure that you can all access this information, but we're sick of it. I'm sick of being surrounded by death. I don't want it to be the same thing for my kids here, and I don't want to have to plan to leave here as soon as I can. And from what I see, that you can't even get through a conversation or anyone else's input, it looks terrible from out here. Like, of course it hasn't gotten better. You can't even have a conversation in here anymore without somebody walking out or calling for a lawyer or going, oh no, you can't say that over people. Just wait or just get out. Just leave. If you can't handle the comment, just walk out and come back. When you think that they're done hurting your feelings, and they call me snowflake, right, for caring about whatever. But I don't even see the capability to weather a criticism, whether it's polite or not. You know. Please, thank you.
Así que gracias.
Thank you. I have Victor Machado next on Zoom. Hi, Victor.
Hola, Víctor.
Just state your name and
Diga
address,
su nombre y
please.
dirección, por favor.
And Victor, yes, and I know you're on Zoom, so I am going to just let you know when it's been a minute. Sorry in advance for interrupting you.
Okay, thank you. So, Victor Machado from 6 Harbor Way. I'm so sorry for this gentleman mentioning about his family being shot in Hollywood. I know, like, he's right. This is getting worse, especially in World War I. So that is the reason we should make sure, like, to prioritize our meetings in specific matters. So I think like Holyoke need leaders with commitment and also make safe place to live for residents and also a cleaner place and improve the housing in Holyoke as well and make Holyoke more affordable for the residents that we have. We are talking about homeless. I have been on homeless, and I know this city has offered a lot of opportunity for many people, but increasing taxes in the city is crazy right now. This is like killing probably first owners.
1 minute.
And also right now
y
I
también ahora
respect the
yo
committee
respeto el
right now
comité ahora mismo
and city
y el
councils and the
consejo de la
mayor,
ciudad también.
and I think
Y
everyone
yo creo que
deserves
todo el mundo
respect.
merece respeto.
Um, I know
Yo
like
siento
this city
que el consejo
council
de
is
la
trying
ciudad
to
está
do a
tratando
lot
de
of
hacer
things,
bastante cosas,
but
pero
we are not is like
nosotros
many
hemos
of
notado
you
que
have the commitment to
muy pocos
work
tienen
side by
el
side with the
compromiso para
residents. So
trabajar
thank you
lado a lado
for the
con
time,
los residentes. Así
President.
que gracias por su
Thank
tiempo,
you.
señora Presidente.
I'm not seeing anyone else
¿No hay
on
más
Zoom
en Zoom
or in council
o en
chambers,
el Consejo de la
so
Ciudad?
we will move to
Así que vamos a
the
movernos
regular and
directamente
pending executive
a
session
la
minutes.
sesión
I just want to
ejecutiva
let
y
everyone
los
know I'm
minutos.
working with the law department
Yo sé que
to
han
schedule
trabajado
an executive
el
session
Departamento de Leyes trabajando la
for
sesión ejecutiva
the night of our
y,
second meeting in September,
y una
which will be the
noche.
17th. And if
Y
you
si
have
ha
items that you
tenido
would like the law
artículo
department
que le
to
gusta al
provide an update
Departamento de
on,
Leyes,
please let me know.
por favor,
I
dejamos saber.
have talked to some of you, but I just want to make sure
Yo
that
solamente quiero
they're
asegurarme de que
prepared
ellos están
to
preparados
discuss everything
para discutir a todo
and
el
that
mundo
you all get
y
your
de que
questions
todos
answered.
consigan sus
So just let
preguntas
me know.
respuestas.
And
Así que déjame saber.
so then we'll leave those
Así
on the
que
table for
vamos a dejar
now.
eso en la mesa por ahora.
And item number
Así
3
que el
is
artículo
the
número 3
meeting minutes of the August
es
5th
la minuta de
meeting.
Make a motion
Así que
that
hago
we
una moción
receive
de que
and
nosotros
approve
hemos
item
recibido y
number 3.
aprobado
Second.
artículo número 3.
Motion's been made and
Moción se ha hecho y
seconded to
secundado
receive and
para
approve
recibir
item
y
number
aprobar
3. Any
artículo número 3.
discussion or
Cualquier
corrections
discusión.
or anything? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, as
Gracias.
always, Jeffrey and Brenna.
Como siempre,
All those in
Jeffrey.
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Todos en favor, ¿alguien se opone?
Do we want 4
Ok, nosotros
still on the
queremos
table?
Yes,
4
please.
todavía en la
Okay.
mesa.
How about 5?
Ok, ¿qué tal 5?
Are we,
On the
do
table.
we have anything
Nosotros
pending
tenemos
for
algo
5,
pendiente
6, and 7?
para 4,
or-
5,
don't-
6 y 7, ¿no?
5 and 6, I think,
5 y
would just,
6, yo creo.
I think, stay on the table, but I'm not sure.
Yo creo
That's what
que
you
está
guys
en la
want.
mesa,
Is there
pero
something going on at
Definitely
DGNR? I don't know.
está
maybe
pasando
I
algo
don't
en
think
DGR.
s-
Just leave them on table, Kathy.
just table?
Y
Okay.
solamente poner en la mesa.
But 7,
Pero 7,
I'll make a motion
hagan
to
una
move
moción
7
para
from table
movernos,
purposes,
para remover
especially.
7 de la mesa para
motion's been made
la
and
moción se ha
seconded
hecho y secundado.
to remove
Para
item
remover
7 from the
artículo 7 de la
table
mesa
for the purpose of
por
discussion.
el
All those
propósito
in
de
favor?
discusión. Todos en favor,
Any
yo.
opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
This is an order I
Es
filed.
una orden que yo
Councilor
sometí,
Bartley?
Sorry
Councilor
about that. I
Bartley.
apologize.
okay.
Well, a little quick on the draw. I'm wearing a cowboy
all right.
hat, so that's what
Must be
happens
the hat.
when you wear a cowboy hat.
Sí, cuando tienes un gorro de
So
vaquero.
my motion
Así que mi
would be
moción sería
to
para
receive and
para
adopt
recibir y
this
adaptar esto,
rule.
esta regla.
Receive and adopt
Para
this
recibir
change to our
esta
rule,
cambia nuestra regla.
and see if we can have
Y
a
para ver si
rescheduled
nosotros
meeting to
podemos
the next day.
poner,
Motion's been made
para
and
otra
seconded
ocasión,
to
en esa
suspend
reunión.
Rule 2A and
Moción se ha
hold
hecho y secundado
our
para poner,
second September meeting on Wednesday, September 17th,
para poner nuestra segunda
so that we are
reunión
able
de septiembre
to
para que
attend
nosotros podamos
the Big E
atender
for Holyoke Day, and it's
el Big
also
E de
preliminary
Holyoke
election.
y también es elección
So,
preliminar.
any other discussion
¿Y
on that?
cualquier otra discusión en eso?
Okay,
Ok,
all those in
todos en
favor?
favor.
Aye. Any opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
All right,
Ok.
let's see.
Okay.
I have 8 is a letter from the mayor appointing Jeff Burkott and Devin Pasick as the Fence Viewer Committee.
Sent to public service, Mrs. President, Ms. President.
Okay.
Public service.
Servicio
All those
público,
in
todos en
favor?
favor.
Aye.
¿Yo?
Any
¿Alguien se
opposed?
opone?
Okay,
Okay.
and then 9 is a letter
Es
from the
una
mayor
carta del
appointing
alcalde
David
García,
Owen to serve on the local
enviando a
historic
David
commission.
Owen para servir en Comisión
Sent
de
to public
Distribución
service.
Histórica.
All
Enviar
those
a,
in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
enviar
Okay, and then we've got,
a Servicio Público y luego tenemos
oh, Patty has her hand up.
okay, Patty
Councilor
tiene-
Devine?
Councilor Devine.
Yeah,
Sí,
thank you. It's
gracias.
for item
Y por
number
artículo
10.
número 10.
I don't know
Okay.
if you're there
No sé
yet.
si está
Yes, we
ahí.
just
Sí,
got there.
nosotros
So item
vamos
number
ahí.
10 is
Así
from
que
the fire
artículo
chief.
10
It's
es
the
el
report on
DF,
condition of
pero
Old Bassett Road for
informe
fire
sobre
trucks.
las
Councilor Devine?
condiciones sobre Old
Yeah,
Bassett
Councilor
Road.
Meg McGrath
Councilor
Smith and
Meg
I
McGrath Smith
both looked
y yo,
into this, and we had the fire
fuimos y atribuimos al
department go up that
departamento de
road. I don't
bomberos.
know if people have been up
No sé
that
si
road, but
nadie ha
it's pretty
estado ahí en
bad,
esa ruta.
and it really
Así que
needs some
sí, realmente se
paving, and he
necesita
agrees
pavimento.
that it needs to be
Y él
widened
está de
and
acuerdo de que
paved.
necesita
So what
que
I'd like to
esté
do, is send this
pavimentada. Así que lo
report
que quiero hacer es
to
enviar este
Congressman
reporte
Richie
al
Neal,
Congreso Richie Neal,
Pat Duffy,
Pat
and
Duffy
John
y John
Vilas,
Viles,
and
y
hopefully
esperamos
between
de
the
que
three of
entre los
them,
tres
they can widen that
pueden
road and get
anchar
it
esa
paved. I
ruta
think
y
it's really
ponerle
important.
el pavimento.
And if
Y
you
creo que es
haven't been
importante
out
si no
that
esa
way and
manera,
up that
esa
road, I would just say,
carretera,
please be
yo digo por
careful,
favor,
because
tengan
it's not
cuidado
the
porque
best thing in the
realmente no es la
world.
mejor cosa del
But
mundo.
we need to send
Pero
it to
necesitamos
those three
enviarlo a esas
people,
tres personas
and maybe
y
between the three
posiblemente
of
entre
them,
los tres
they can come up
ellos
with
puedan venir con
something to
algo
widen the road
para
and
anchar
pave it.
la
Thank you.
carretera y
Thank you,
pavimentarla.
Counselor.
Así que
Any
eso.
other discussion?
¿Cualquier otra discusión?
Yeah, Counselor
Sí,
McGrath-Smith?
consejera McGrath.
Thank you, Madam President.
Gracias, señora Presidente.
You know, this is one of those tricky
Creo que
streets
es
that
una de
it
las
was a
calles
county
que
road
realmente,
that was discontinued
fue
back when county
descontinuada
government
cuando,
was largely
county government
dismantled in the
estaba
early 70s. And at that
desmantelado
point,
en los 70s, así que en
whether
ese punto,
just through oversight
ya
or
sea a
through
través de un cambio de sitio
design,
o diseño,
several of those county roads were
bastante de
never
esos
accepted
rutas
by the
de
city.
county no fue aceptado por
And
la
until
ciudad.
the state
Pero,
did an audit
pero hasta
last
que
year
el Estado hizo una
and
auditoría
sent a
el año
letter to
pasado,
the
envió
city
una carta a la ciudad
explaining,
explicando,
hey, we actually went back through
realmente
and our
nosotros
records show
vimos
these
y
roads
nuestros
were
récords
county
dice
roads that were
que
discontinued.
eran,
Do you have proof that these are now
eran
accepted
rutas
city roads?
del
And the city
condado y
said,
usted aprueba
no,
que esto de la ciudad y la ciudad
we
dijo
don't
que no,
have proof
no tenemos prueba
that these were ever accepted.
de que se
And these
fueron
were
aceptados.
roads
Y
that
eso
in many
eran rutas
cases
que en
had been
algunos
accepted
casos
and
ha sido
treated
aceptada y
like city
tratada
roads
como,
since then. But now we
de la
can't
ciudad,
use
pero
Chapter
ahora no
90
podemos
funding, and now
usar
it's very
ningún fondo.
clear that they're
Así
not
que
city
claro que
roads.
realmente
But
no son
most of the people that
frutos de
live
la
on these
ciudad, pero
discontinued
bastantes
county
personas que
roads purchased their properties fully
de la ciudad
believing that they were city
pensaban
roads.
que compraron
And
su
until the
propiedad que
state
pensando
took
que
action to
de la
create this
ciudad y
audit
para
because they
que
wanted to make sure they
Estado
were not putting Chapter 90 funding forward for
y hasta que el Estado
non-city
no hizo una
roads,
auditoría.
we didn't act like they
Nosotros
weren't city
realmente
roads, and we have paved them in the past.
nosotros lo habíamos,
So it's a
puesto
really
pavimentos,
messy
así que realmente
situation. Well,
una
Bassett falls
situación,
into that. Brookwood falls into that. There's a
Brooklyn
number
está
of
ahí
them that we
bastante
keep coming
de eso
across
que nosotros
now.
hemos estado viendo ahora.
And
Y
I have a lot of
yo tengo
sympathy
bastante
for the
simpatía
private owners who
por los
are brought
dueños
properties
que
fully
han
believing
comprado
these were city
propiedades creyendo
roads.
que eso
And it
eran
was not until the state
carreteras
audit
de la ciudad y no
occurred
fue
that
hasta
the
que
city was
vino,
informed that they were not. And now they're not. So I do think, and there's a number of streets in this packet today that you'll see our motions later on. 73 tackles this from the side that if we cannot get our state partners to see the value of helping us make this right, then I do think that the city needs to start making these discontinued county roads right. Because this was something that was really the fault of the city back in the early 70s, a long time ago, but it's coming to bear now. Thank you.
Thank you. So is there anyone else?
¿Alguien más?
There was a motion, I believe Councilor Devine wanted to send this to Neal, Duffy, and Bayless.
Second.
Segunda.
All those in favor?
Todos en favor.
Any opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
Okay.
Okay.
Item 11
Okay, artículo 11.
is from the Holyoke Health Benefit
de
Committee, the
Consejo
meeting minutes from June 2nd. Motion to receive.
Moción para recibir.
All those in favor?
Todos en favor. Yo.
Any opposed?
¿Alguien se pone?
12 is from the Board of Fire Commissioners,
Es de la
the
Junta de
meeting minutes
Comisiones de
from July
Bomberos de la
23rd.
reunión del 23 de julio.
Motion to
para
receive.
Moción para recibir.
All those in favor?
Por eso todos en favor. Yo.
Oh, Councilor Devine?
Oh, consejero.
Yes, thank you. Madam President, I think
Señor
that
Presidente, yo
the
pienso
people
que
need
las
to
personas
read
necesitan
the
leer
response from
la respuesta
that meeting of the Fire
de esa reunión del
Commission
Departamento
because it's
Bomberos,
completely different than
porque es
what
completamente
Councilor
diferente
Jordan
de lo que el
had
Consejo
proposed.
Jordan propuso.
So I'm not sure what you would like to
No estoy
do,
segura lo que te
but
gustaría
it looks like
hacer,
they're
pero sueño.
suggesting drafting a letter
Pero
to Senator
sugiero,
Vilas showing opposition
hacer un borrador
to
por una
it
carta para el
while
Senado
it is
de
in
las mostrando
legislative. It
oposición
potentially does not make
porque
it
eso
out of
está legislativo y
Senate or House of
potencialmente no se hace al
Representatives.
Senado
So they
o
do
la Casa de
not
Representativos.
want the fire chief
Ellos no quieren que
taken out of civil service, according
el
to the
jefe de
meeting I went
bomberos
to and according to their minutes. Thank you.
afuera de los servicios.
Thank you, Councilor Jordan.
Yeah, a couple of things. I did have an opportunity to speak to one of the commissioners since I read these minutes, and it sounded like a neutral position to me relative to that one particular commissioner I spoke to. I was not invited to that particular meeting. I will just say a couple of things. It was relayed to me that people are relaying information to them that's just not the case. For example, saying things that by us passing this special legislation, we're taking the appointment power of the fire chief away from the commission. That's 100% not true. We did nothing to change who appoints the commission. They're trying to say like, oh, now it'll be the mayor instead of the fire commission. Not true. Okay. This has nothing to do with that whatsoever. Mayor Garcia supported this. This council voted 12-1 to support this. And this is now at the state legislature, okay, to be adopted. And legislation has already been filed to do that. So it's exactly as we stated. This is to remove the fire chief from civil service, not the current one, but future. We grandfathered the current one. So that is all exactly the case. And anybody can go back to the Charter and Rules Committee to listen to what the Fire Commission themselves said at that meeting. It's all on tape. Okay? So everybody in the room, all councilors, everybody spoke in favor of this. So anyways, that's the situation. The mayor is strongly in support. This actually gives more power to the commission because it's going to enable them, as we stated, to be able to pick internal candidates if they want or external candidates. No different than the police department. So that's what happened. That's still what happened. And there you have it.
Thank you, Councilor Rivera.
We just know who the one was because I want to make sure.
I don't have that.
Councilor Devine, it was 12-1. Councilor Devine voted.
I thought I voted no on that. Damn it, next time I will.
All right. Anyone else? Okay. So the motion was to receive. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. So no petitions. President's report. I don't have a ton of things to remind you of, but we did have the PEC ribbon cutting was today. It was great to see councilors there. It was a wonderful day, good opportunity to do the tour. We have the Puerto Rican parade not this weekend, but next weekend. So just the mayor was asking for the RSVP, so I think everyone responded to that. Jeffrey wanted me to give you all a heads up that we're going to do pictures, the portraits, in December before the first December meeting. So I think that's December 2nd. Right, yeah. And there is, I just want to remind everyone, there is a public forum on Monday, September 8th, for the public to provide thoughts and feedback on how to use money from the opioid settlements. So those two options are Monday, September 8th. From noon to 2 p.m. and you can kind of just drop in anytime during that period at the library. That one's at the library. And then Monday, September 8th in the evening from 6 to 7:30 at the Council on Aging Senior Center. And there will be Spanish interpretation there. So hopefully folks can are just aware of that. Anything else? Anyone? Oh. Councilor Devine?
Yes, I just wanted to apologize for not being at the PEC site today. I really wanted to go, but unfortunately, illness has kept me away. That's why I'm on Zoom today. But I'm sure it was wonderful. Hopefully in the future I will get a tour, but I'm glad that they were able to do that today. Thank you.
I actually thought it might be cool if we tried having a city council meeting there sometime.
Great idea.
Counselor Greeny?
Consejero
Just
Greeny.
quickly, out of
Rápidamente,
curiosity, maybe to address the chair
bajo
of Charter and
curiosidad,
Rules,
para mirar lo
because
de
I don't know
las
if
reglas
it's
porque no
possible,
lo sé si es
but
posible.
is there a vehicle
Hay un
in Charter
vehículo
and Rules where
en
individual
reglas
counselors can
donde los
respond,
individuos
not to engage in debate,
podrían
but to
responder,
respond to
no para
public
debate,
comment?
pero para responder al comentario público?
Well, usually
Bueno, usualmente,
the things that we discuss in charter and
las
rules
cosas que se discuten en
are orders that have been
las
filed.
reglas son
So if
órdenes
there's
que
an
se han
order
archivado.
that needs to be filed and
Así
referred
que
to
si hay
committee,
una orden que se necesita archivar y
things,
referir al comité,
that's how we, like in our rules,
Esas
things
son
have to be,
nuestras reglas.
the orders get sent to committee for
Las
discussion. So
reglas
if,
se envían al
I was
comité
just
para
wondering
discusión.
if there was
Solo me
something
está
in there
preguntando
that would
si hay algo
enable
ahí.
I get what you're
individual
saying.
counselor
Like if
que
there's,
lo
I don't
to
know.
respond,
Ok, ya entendí lo
not
que
to
estás diciendo.
debate, but to respond to
Para no
something
para
that's said in public,
debatir, para
public
responder.
comment. That's all.
Do you want
Lo
to
que se le hizo al
respond,
público.
Counselor?
¿Te gustaría
And then-
responder?
Well, the
Well,
other thing,
I meant, sorry, I meant the chair of charter and rules,
No,
but then I'll let you.
quería
oh, I
decir,
thought you had pointed to me.
I'm sorry. No,
quería
I just, I
decir a
meant
la
Meg. She had her hand up
presidente.
first, but then you're next,
Porque
Counselor.
Meg levantó la mano primero.
Thank you,
Pero
Madam
usted
President. I
eres
just wanted to name that,
señor presidente.
you know,
Solo quiero
we have a
nombrar
standing rule that we don't
nosotros
engage with the
tenemos
public during
una regla
public comment.
de que
But if
nosotros
someone wanted to
no
put forward a
entramos con
rule
Julia
change or for us
durante
to
comentario
consider
público.
it looking different, for sure,
Pero
we would take
considerar
that
que
up in
las
charter
cosas
and
sean
rules and
diferentes y
happily
seguro.
discuss it.
Podríamos
Counselor Jordan?
discutir.
Yeah, I'm also unaware of any rule that would preclude
Estoy
any member of
también,
this body.
Counselor
We're all
Jordan,
members
sí,
of the
no
public as
sé de
well.
ninguna
We can sign up for public
regla.
comment too,
Podríamos
right? So
firmarlos
maybe
para
we
comentario
have to
público
now
también.
join the public
O sea, que
comment
nosotros
as a
podríamos,
citizen, you know, Kevin Jourdain from
ser
18 Raymond
partes,
Avenue.
del
I'm happy to
comentario
give
público, como
my name and
Jourdain.
address, and I can
Estoy
come up
feliz de
and
dar mi
sign up
nombre
for
y mi
public
dirección
comment
y
as
podría yo
well,
venir
right?
al
You
comentario
know, I'm not,
público
I'm,
también.
that's
I'm
fine.
not aware
Whatever
of
you
any
want to do.
rule. I pay
No estoy
taxes.
de
I'm a
acuerdo.
member of the
Yeah,
of
go
the
for it.
citizenry. So
Counselor
maybe that'll
Bartley?
be our way to have to do it if these type of things continue.
Sounds good.
Madam
I saw Counselor Bartley's hand just briefly, and then I'll call in you, Counselor
I'm
Greeny.
going to go off topic if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So three things.
Yes, estoy de acuerdo con
One,
Bartley.
we had a nice turnout for Dad's event to dedicate the
Bien,
streets, so thank you for all
nosotros
that.
tenemos un
Plus,
evento
activating
para
Call
dedicarlo
Water.
en las
Second
calles.
off, there was an unbelievable event last week in Pulaski
También
Park. I
fue
couldn't
algo
believe it.
increíble
I know.
la semana
With the
pasada en
bikes?
Pulaski Park
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was
con las bicicletas sin
pretty
poder
amazing.
creerlo. Eso
And
fue
then last
increíble.
of all,
Y lo último de todo,
you know, not that I'll let what the candidate said go. That's okay. But what I'm going to say is
Lo
that
que voy a decir es
there
que
is an attorney general's
hay un
webinar
abogado general,
relative to the opioid settlement. Now,
un
I'm sure
webinar
they're shocked
relativo
that you know, a right-wing Democrat
al
like me would even
cierre
bring that up. But
del
here it is.
opio.
I actually read stuff and I follow the news and all that. So there is an online
Estoy
seminar
haciendo un
put
seguimiento
on
de
by the
esto
Attorney
y
General's
hay en
office
línea un
this Thursday
seminario
at 12
de
o'clock.
abogados
So if
generales
anyone
este
who's actually
jueves al
interested in learning
mediodía, si
about the
alguien está
opioid
interesado
settlement
en
stuff, it
aprender
particularly
sobre esto,
pertains to municipalities. And that's
Thank you.
sponsored by the MMA. So I just want to make sure that
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Counselor Greeny?
Yeah, just quickly,
Gracias,
Counselor Jourdain answered my question. So it
Consejero
would
Jourdain
behoove any of
respondió
us,
mi pregunta.
if there's going to be controversy or something like that,
Sí,
that we should
esto
all
fuera
sign up for public comment,
controversia,
so that we
nosotros
should be able
deberíamos
to respond
ser,
to any accusations. or
servir
anything.
If that's how you guys want to do it, go for it.
para el
Thank you.
comentario
Great.
público,
Thank
para no
you.
tener acusaciones. Si son
Is there
cosas que
anything
no
else
se
for the
están
actual
hablando.
president's
Ok,
report
gracias.
that
Hay algo
you'd
más
like to-
del reporte de
Counselor
presidencia.
Anderson Burgos,
Consejero
Counselor
Anderson
Rivera?
y Consejero Rivera.
Go ahead.
So mine's out of respect. So
Bueno, con respeto,
I just would love for
Me
us to
encantaría
honor and give a moment of silence for Emilia Sanchez. Emilia Sanchez was the
honorar y
mother
darle un momento
of
de
former
silencio a
city
Emilia
councilor
Sánchez. Emilia
Alejandro
Sánchez
Sanchez
era la
and
mamá
mother
del
to a very
consejo
good friend of
de
mine, Melvin
Alejandro
Sanchez, who is one of the
también
committee
de un buen
members for
amigo
the
de
Fiesta de
Melvin Sánchez,
Patronales.
que
So I
es
would
uno de los
love
miembros
for
del
us
comité
to
de las fiestas
honor her
patronales.
and give her a moment of silence, please.
Si podemos honorarle en un momento de silencio, por favor. Seguro.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Counselor Rivera?
Consejero Rivera.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to recognize
Solo quería-
Holyoke Housing
sí, gracias.
Authority as well
Solo
as
quería
Amanda
reconocer,
Otero, Mari Maldonado, as well as
la-
Robert
la
Rivera for
Autoridad
putting together an
de
event
Amanda Torero, Mari
at
Maldonado
Catholic Apartments in
y Robert
memory of
Rivera
Dexter
por
Ortiz,
poner,
August 23rd.
el
The Holyoke Housing
evento
Authority was able to dedicate a plaque
de
and
Dexter
place
Ortiz
it
en
on their
agosto
new bleachers
23
that are there
en
at the new
la
basketball court.
autoridad de
Dexter Ortiz Ortiz, we
vivienda.
lost him about a year and some change
Y
ago to
también
senseless
están en
gun
nuevo,
violence
en
in the
el
Flats
nuevo
neighborhood. ahead.
de
So,
baloncesto.
for people that say
Y de
that think that the
Ortiz
councils don't also go
también
through
se
things, we
perdió
go
hace
through
un
things as
año,
well.
lo
That
perdió
was
hace
my
un año
best
con el
friend. He
cambio
was killed last
de
year
violencia
in the
de
neighborhood,
armas.
just hanging out in front of his stoop.
Y bueno, también pues aquí en el vecindario.
Ideally, I just wanted to put it out there and
Solo
just
quería
thank
pues decirlo.
these. I don't want to say new, but
No quería decir, no
unsung
quiero decir
heroes
no,
for
pero
organizing this event and putting it
algunos,
together
héroes
without
por
chasing
poner este
clout,
evento.
in a sense. But again, thank them
Gracias.
and the Holyoke Housing Authority for
Darle las
allowing
gracias a
them to
ellos
do it
y
and
a
working
la
with them and
ayuda
making it happen.
de autoridad
Thank you.
por hacer que esto pase. Gracias.
Okay. Seeing anything else? So we'll head into reports of committees. We have item 13 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom is referred a special permit application. I can't do these soon. My job's changing and I can, so. There's, I'm gonna step out. If there's a counselor that would like to take it up.
What do you want?
It's just a special permit for cannabis and I can't.
Oh, okay. I'll
have to recuse myself.
motion.
With the hat? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I'll make a motion that we have Councilor Jordan run the meeting while you're taking a hiatus.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Todos en favor,
Right.
¿alguien se opone?
I've done it before. I'm good. I'm good. No.
No, thanks. All right, here we go. So this is before us is item number 13, councilors, and item number 13 comes to us by way of a committee report from the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred a special permit application for Section MA LLC at 15 Main Street, a recreational marijuana retail establishment per Section 7.10. Recommend that the special permit be granted, carrying over the conditions from the previous owner. This is recommended for approval from Councilors Israel Rivera, Councilor Vacan, Councilor McGrath Smith, Councilor Bartley, and Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Thank you, Interim President. As the order stated, the applicant 6N MA LLC came in. They presented ideally this was they're pretty much purchasing a license from an established owner already, and they're going through the processes of reapplying, and there were a couple things that were held up due to notifications from the fire department and other ones that they had in the past, but we kind of tried to speed this up as fast as we can so that they can make their deadlines too as well. So we were able to meet once, I believe, over the summer, and then once in the beginning when we all came back from council vacation, quote unquote. Everything they were vetted, everything looked fine. We pretty much through the council it went through, through the committee it went through. I believe it was 4-5-0. For the special permit to be granted, with the conditions that were already placed on the previous owner to be carried over to the new owner too as well. With that, if there are any, go ahead.
Yep. Is there the motion is to receive and adopt the committee report?
Para recibir y adoptar el reporte del comité.
Okay, is there a second to that? Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee report, which their recommendation is that the special permit be granted. That has been seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll. A yes vote is in favor of approving the committee report and granting the special permit. A no vote is to deny it.
Divine?
Yes.
Sí.
Givner?
Gimner?
Yes. Greeny?
No.
Gurney, no.
Jordan?
Yes.
Jordan, sí.
McGrath Smith?
Yes.
McGrath Smith, sí.
Ocasio?
Ocasio.
Israel Rivera?
Israel Rivera.
See, yes.
Jenny Rivera?
Sí.
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Sullivan,
Bacon?
sí.
Yes.
Bacon, sí.
Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Bartley?
sí.
Yes.
Bartley, sí.
11 yeas, 1 nay.
By your vote, you've approved the special permit.
Entonces, sí, uno no con eso se aprobó este permiso especial.
Welcome Tessa back.
All right. Okay, item 14
Punto 14.
is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom is referred an order that schedules B and C of Ordinance 2-35 be updated as appropriate with competitive salaries to attract and retain employees. Recommended that changes to the mayor, council, and council president in salary schedule B be referred to the full council without recommendation, and recommended that the changes to police matron and substitute nurse in salary schedule C be adopted. Councilor Rivera?
Thank you. So, this one has been in the council, the committee jacket for quite some time, and so we were able to take it up. Kelly Curran came in and presented on a couple different occasions. She took statistics from different neighboring communities regarding different pay rates or pay increases that have occurred over the last, I want to say 10 to 12 years. Ideally, it's not so that we're trying to, how do you say, give counselors, or the mayor, or anyone serving a particular raise just because they need a raise, but because it's been quite some time that most of these positions have gotten any increases. And to be honest, I just seen something the other day where it said if the community, and I'm not saying that the council has to be like that, but just in general with regards to minimum wage, buying power, if you were just to compare it to the 70s, the buying power with the minimum wage dollar, you wouldn't have to have minimum wage at $66 today to match the buying power of the 70s, what minimum wage was. That's just an interesting fact for me to kind of stumble upon during these times while we're actually looking at different salary negotiations and different negotiations throughout the whole city, not just what we have to deal with. The first one, for the most part, is the mayor, council, and the council president salaries. Just looking at them, reviewing them. This doesn't take effect until the next election cycle, if it were to be voted in. Then there is a schedule, I believe it's the Schedule B, and then I believe the other one is Schedule C, where it's an increase for police matron because it's been a hard time to recruit. They've been struggling to get people to apply. And then I think the recommendation by Councilor Bacon, and she can correct me if I'm wrong, was to eliminate the current position of the substitute nurse, as the position hasn't been filled in for quite some time. I think for us, we were a little warm to it in the meeting, but ideally I think that it's not just that easy, but if it's the will of the body to move in that direction, according to our director of HR, it wouldn't be something that would be controversial for her in this particular moment in time. So that being said, I think I would open it up for discussion, if that's up to you guys, or up to the president, and then hopefully we can move forward to get some of these adopted, or just have the conversation around Schedule B, because that one did go without recommendation, just because we're all counselors, and not, for the most part, some of us didn't agree, but then some of us did, but we wanted to make it something that could actually have conversation when it came to full council.
Thank you. So would that be perhaps a motion to pass the first reading? So I can open it up for discussion.
There you go, motion to pass the first reading. Thank
you. Motion to pass the first reading. Under discussion, I have Councilor Bacon and then Councilor Jordan.
So, I guess my first would be a point of order. Can we have two separate votes?
Sure.
One is no
You making a motion?
Yeah. So I'd like to make that as a motion. That
Okay.
we do separate votes.
Okay.
So what's the motion is to segregate B and C?
Correct.
Okay, so I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to separate the two changes in salary schedule. So we'll do you want to do the first, just the first one that's there first, and then we'll do the police matron and substitute? Okay. Councilor Rivera?
Yeah, I guess I would need further explanation as to how that works, because it's all one particular order or one particular item. So just trying to see how, just breaking it up and taking different pieces just to vote on it, even though it's all one item. I just...
Sure. We can take two separate votes. But Councilor Bacon, did you Want to add anything?
I was only going to say we made two different recommendations.
Right. So we'll just do two separate votes. So, yes, Counselor Jordan?
Are we going to vote on the nurse one first or the?
Whatever the will of the body is.
Okay.
Do you guys
We do
have-
the nurse one first?
Okay. Counselor Bacon?
That's Schedule C.
Thank you. The nurse is in C. And I just want to clarify that the reason I
Solo
made the
quiero clarificar
motion
que
to
la
just
razón por la que hice la
eliminate
moción
that particular item
para
on
eliminar ese
the
punto en
list
particular
is because it's not been used in over
es
20
porque no
years.
se ha usado en
So
más de
it,
20
to me,
años.
was a cleanup. If
Para
for
mí
some
era
reason our
una
nurse was
limpieza.
not
Si por
able
alguna
to
razón
fulfill the
una enfermera no
position,
estaba
the money is
al
in the
llenar la
budget
posición,
line for
ese
that
dinero
position.
está en
So you
esa
don't
línea,
really
en esa
need a
posición.
separate line. That
Así
was
que no
the
necesitamos
basis of my
una línea
motion, but the
separada.
committee
Esa
wanted to
fue
keep it in, and it doesn't
Esa
hurt
fue la
anything.
básica.
Right.
So,
La
you
base.
know, but I just wanted
Pero pues
it to
no.
be understood that it
Solo
wasn't
quería
a
que se
cut of
entendiera
any sort.
que no
It
fue
was
un corte de
more
cualquier manera.
just to clean up the list.
Fue más
Thank you.
algo para
Yeah.
limpiar
So
la lista.
the, yes.
Relative to Schedule B,
Okay, en
Okay.
cuanto el
if we're
anexo
going to
B,
take them separately.
si lo vamos a tomar
So,
separados.
in Schedule B,
En el anexo B
proposed is a $30,000
se
increase for the
propone
mayor
30, un
and
incremento de
a
30,000
$1,000
para
or
el alcalde,
$2,000 increase for City Council.
1,000 o 2,000 para el
And-
consejo de la ciudad.
4,000 for the council.
Okay, I stand corrected
Cuatro
on
o
that.
cuatro
I just
para el
don't have
consejo,
all the
okay.
paper right in front of me right now.
Solo no tengo
But
el papel
I
aquí
think
enfrente mío.
we're in a time
Pero
where
yo pienso que nosotros estamos
the
en un tiempo
people
en
that we're
donde
serving
las personas que
are
estamos
not
sirviendo
getting 30% raises. They're
no
not
están
getting
obteniendo
20%
incrementos del
raises. They're
30%.
getting maybe 3,
Ni 20,
maybe 5.
quizás 3,
And
quizás 5.
I think it is just
Y pienso que es solo
an overreach to put these kind
es
of
un
increases
sobrealcance en poner estos
on the table
incrementos
and
en la
pass
mesa
them
y
for
pasarlos
ourselves or for
para
the mayor
nosotros o para el
this,
alcalde.
in this season. We've
esta
spent almost
temporada.
a year, maybe more than a
Nosotros
year,
gastamos más
talking
de un
about
año o más de un
taking
año
away about
hablando.
half the mayor's job and giving it to another person.
Tomar la
So
mitad
this
del
doesn't
trabajo del
seem
alcalde y
to
hacer a otra
be, to
persona.
me, a good
Así que esto no
context
parece,
in
no me
which
parece
to
que sea un buen
give a big
contexto en donde
raise,
se le da
while
un
at the
gran
same time
incremento.
over here,
Pero al
we're
mismo
debating
tiempo
giving half the position
estamos debatiendo
responsibilities
en
to a
dividir
new
la
person.
mitad de la
So
posición a
that's
una
my
nueva persona.
perspective relative to these,
Esa es mi
and so I
perspectiva
will be
relativa a
a no
esta.
vote
Así
on
que será un
changing
voto no en
Schedule
el
B.
cambio.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Jordan.
Gracias,
Thank
consejero
you.
Jordan.
So I have no problem with the nurse change in
No tengo
Schedule
ningún
C,
cambio con el
so I'll
cambio en la
support
enfermera,
that vote.
así que voy a apoyar
But
ese
on
voto.
Schedule B, I'm
Pero
also a no vote, and I want to
en-
explain why.
En anexo B
So,
soy un
a
voto
couple
no,
of
me gustaría
things.
explicar por qué.
One
Par de
is,
cosas.
when we're going to consider increases
Cuando
for
vamos a
elected officials,
considerar
be it for
un
ourselves
incremento
or
para
for
oficiales
the mayor
electivos,
or
para
clerk or
nosotros,
what
el
have
alcalde
you,
o
these are
secretario.
supposed to be
Estos
increases
están
for
supuestos
the
para
position,
ser
not
incrementos
for
para la posición,
ourselves.
no para
All
nosotros
right?
mismos.
So we're way beyond that window at this
Nosotros
point
estamos
to be considering
más
if,
allá de esa
if it
ventana
was the
para
will of ordinance or
Si
the
la
body
voluntad
or
de la
whoever's
ordenanza del
moving
cuerpo,
this,
o quien sea que está
that
moviendo esto,
we would have these type of votes
que
that do an
nosotros vamos a tener
increase
este
for
tipo
the
de
mayor
votos
and
para
the
hacer un
council.
alcalde, para
This should have
el
came in a
incremento para
year
el alcalde
ago.
y el consejo.
Because
Se debieron haber
then
hace un año,
it's fair to the whole public,
porque
right?
es justo para todo el
Council
público.
votes on it.
Los
In
consejeros
January
votan
of
en
2026,
enero
the mayor is going to
2026,
go up 30%. The council's going to get a 40% increase. It's open to everybody. You want to run for it? You can get the raise if you think, does that enter into your calculus? Well, I can't really afford 100,000, but maybe for 130,000. Yeah, now I guess I could afford to be the mayor. I want to be the mayor. Who knows what goes into everybody's individual decision to run for mayor, council, any of these positions. But salary is certainly a factor, particularly for a full-time position like mayor. Then, when nomination papers opened in January, February, whatever it was, people could have taken out papers and run for the mayor's position, or for that matter, our council positions. None of that is done. Now flash ahead, July 29th goes by, Nobody else can run for mayor. And in the 11th hour before the election, we're going to now come in with an increase for Mayor Garcia, who's running unopposed. Whether that's intended to be unethical or not, it could be clearly appear unethical. Because it looks like you're handing Josh Garcia, because he's guaranteed to be the only person that will get this position, and he is guaranteed he's going to be the guy to get the 30 grand. Okay? That should have come up a year ago when everybody had an opportunity to be mayor and run for the job. I have never seen pay raises come in after the deadline is closed for nomination papers like this. I've never seen that. Now, council, for ourselves, many of the people on this council are running unopposed, and there isn't even, technically, even at large, there's only 3 challengers for the 6 of us. So 3 of us, theoretically, are guaranteed re-election. We don't know what 3 of us, but 3 of us are guaranteed re-election, right? We can't do that. We're essentially voting ourselves a pay raise. And if you're unopposed, you're voting yourself a pay raise. At least if you did it a year ago and it was transparent, or even at the beginning of the year and said, hey, this is what the pay is going to be, 1/1/26, and if you want to run, okay, great. You can't do that now. The window is closed, in my opinion. That's the obvious reason why none of us should vote for this, because you shouldn't be voting yourself a pay raise. Again, when we're doing these, it's for the position, not for us personally. That just sets another bad precedent. Again, one of the reasons I care to believe I'm sitting in this room, that the public likes me being here, okay, is because I will say that, and I will vote no on these type of deals. This is not okay for us to do that. And when we've had, and I get it, pay raises for elected officials is controversial. It's not an easy vote. I will grant all of that. And whether it's warranted or not, the window for that has closed a long time ago. So on that alone, this should be defeated. We can take it up, next year, maybe to consider for some date in 2030 or whenever the mayor's next term is going to be. We have now time. We got 4 years, in my view, because this now, we cannot vote to give Josh, to hand him 30 grand. Point number 2, the mayor's position is evolving at this point, waiting to see what happens from the Modernization Act. We should also see, are we taking duties away from the mayor, primarily in the financial area? We don't know if that's going to pass or not. We should consider that into the equation. Because if we're taking a large quantity of duties away, and we're not sure how that's going to shake out, but that's certainly the proposal on the table, does that offset the need for a 30% increase? And then, certainly, obviously none of us are running for these positions. If you are, you're sadly mistaken if we're running for the money, for sure. But I would only suggest that amidst the overall financial climate of the city, where we're at financially, is this justified? But those other arguments, to me, are foreclosed by the definite first argument, which is we do not just give raises to ourselves when there isn't the benefit of an election where everybody's had an opportunity to go for that salary. Because now, if somebody said, I wanted to be mayor at $130,000, that should have been told to them and known to them when the opportunity to run for the position was available. That is now closed as of July 29th. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Councilor Rivera and then Sullivan. I have a long list. I've got you all. Oh,
solamente un punto
had a
verde.
motion to separate these
Tuvimos una
two.
moción para
Yeah,
separar
I
estos
was
dos.
gonna, thank you. I was
Así
gonna
que
get back there.
yo iba a ir a
So there was a
Así
motion
que, una
to
moción
take two separate
para
votes
tomar dos
on
votos
these
separados.
ordinance changes.
En
All
las
those in favor?
cambios de
Any
ordenanza, todos en
opposed?
favor, ¿alguien se opone?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Counselor.
Gracias, consejero.
I have Counselor
Tengo
Rivera,
consejera Rivera.
and I do have you. I have you on the list, Counselor. I have, yes, thank you.
Sí,
Thank you.
gracias.
I have Counselor Rivera,
Counselor Rivera.
and then Counselor
Y
Givner,
luego
Anderson
consejera
Burgos,
Gibney,
McGrath
Anderson
Smith,
Burgos, McGrath
Devine,
Smith,
and Graney.
Devine y Graney.
So, Counselor
Así
Rivera.
que, consejera
Thank
Rivera.
you.
Gracias.
I think I gotta address the
Yo quiero
part
dirigir
where,
la parte
the insinuation
la
of
insinuación de
unethicalness.
de la parte de
It was
éticas.
just not too long ago
No fue
where
hace
people
mucho
were
tiempo en la cual la
offended
persona
because they were
fuera
called a
ofendida
liar.
porque le dijeron que
But
era
now,
mentira,
the
mentirosos.
accusations
Y ahora
of
la
someone being
acusación de
unethical
alguien
is being thrown around.
ser,
It's
no ser
interesting
éticos.
to me how,
Es
on one end,
interesante
it's
para
not
mí,
fair when things
lo
are
cual
done
no
in
es
your
justo.
direction, but on the other end, you're easily
Cuando las
willing
cosas van
to
a
do
tu
it to
dirección,
someone
pero en
else.
la otra, pero en la otra manera,
The irony of
quieres
this is
hacerlo. La
amazing to
ironía
me.
es
But
increíble para mí, pero
I think that
yo creo que
I just want to put it out there.
solamente quiero
I'm
ponerlo
not
ahí
giving
afuera.
myself a raise because I could potentially lose.
No quiero
Not
estar en
giving
esta carrera porque
the
puedo
mayor raise,
solamente
not even trying to give the mayor a raise.
pero no quiero
If you
darle
actually go back to the meetings and you look at how many times we met on that particular issue, it's been a long
ha sido
time.
bastante
And we've
tiempo que
been
nosotros
meeting
hemos
for
hablado por
many,
esa
many
reunión y
times.
nos
Never
hemos
came out
reunido
of
por
committee
bastante
because we
tiempo, nunca ha
wanted to get
salido
it
como
right.
tiempo que nosotros
Make sure that
queremos
when we
conseguirlo
presented
bien
it to you
para
guys, to
cuando
the
lo
full
presente
council,
al
it'd
consejero
be able to be
completo
presented to the full
sea
council
de
with
una
the correct
manera,
information and all the
una
stuff that's
información
needed.
correcta.
But
Y
there's
la cosa que
a
se
game
necesita,
being
pero hay
played where procrastination
juego
is being
que se
put
está jugando
back
con
and back and back.
procrastinación
The same
que
thing is
está
happening with
poniendo de
municipal
vuelta
finance.
lo mismo que está haciendo
It's a game
con
being
esta
played.
financiera. Hay un
And if we
juego que se
really
está
are
jugando
about the
y
people,
realmente si
we don't
nosotros
play
somos buenas
games
personas,
for our
nosotros no
own
jugamos
political
la persona por
gain.
nosotros,
We play
por
games
nuestras
to
ganancias
help the
políticas. Nosotros
people, if that's the
jugamos
case. If someone
para
is
ayudar a la
getting,
persona.
if
Y si
someone
alguien
wants to run for mayor because
quiere correr
it
para
went up to
alcalde,
130, ideally you'd think that you don't want that person as a mayor. They're only going for the job for the money. They're not actually doing it to actually be the mayor of the city. If you're looking at the salary, I think for me it's did this particular individual want to run for mayor? Would that salary be good for them to run for mayor? Is that the reason why? I guess there's a lot that sticks out to me when it comes to anything that has to do with moving the community forward. I just saw the other day a post where someone was saying, "Oh, we're doing this right with the schools and all this other stuff." Technically, to my understanding, what we paid for this one particular school would have probably paid for the both of them if we had passed that vote years ago. But we only paid for one for the same price that we would have paid for 2 years ago. But I don't know. Like, to me, it's amazing to me. Like, we're saying that we're putting ourselves and voting for ourselves, but people are playing political games in the background, asking people to run, not knowing who they are, not knowing their backgrounds, having them come forward to try to run and try to control the council. This is what's happening in real life time. I'm not meeting with other people on the side to try to say, hey, I need this seat, that seat, that seat. That's not the game that's being played on my end. I'm not being unethical. I am not trying to manipulate what the city is going to look like for the next 10 to 12 years. That is not my goal. My goal is to try to help the people, make sure that there's a good education for my daughters moving forward, make sure that there's better jobs, make sure that the police do the job for the taxpayer, not the federal government. To work for the people here in Holyoke, not the federal government. For me, it's important that we work here for us, for Holyoke first, Holyoke second, Holyoke last. Not one particular counselor, not one particular ideology, and not one particular mayor. If we give the mayor a raise, I didn't expect $130,000. If someone would have wanted to say, hey, maybe give him 105, maybe give him 107, I don't care. It had nothing. It has no bearing on me or any of that. Even with the council stuff, I knew that everyone was going to be against it, and I knew they were going to take this moment to grandstand and do their thing that they always do. I knew that. That's fine. The part for me that sticks out, true colors are being shown when at the one end you get upset that people call you out, but on the other end you do the same exact thing to a colleague, and it doesn't make any sense because none of this was my intention in being unethical, even though I'm constantly accused of that. It's been a couple years now. This is going to my 4th year. Before I even got in, I was being unethical, quote unquote. So ideally, I just wanted to kind of put that out there and say that people of Holyoke, please understand that we need to work together, and it's going to be hard to work together if the council can't work together because we are playing political games in the background. This is not Game of Thrones. This is not House of Cards. It's none of that nonsense. This is real life, not a movie, not a show. Even though some people like to watch us on TV, I get it. But ideally, we need to get the work going, and we need to get things moving. Sorry it's taken so long for this to come out. Had the committee gotten together and agreed to some of this stuff a long time ago, even if it would have came out with no recommendation, it would have came out a long time ago. Go back and look at the meetings. There's a bunch of meeting dates that we came up on this. You could say that it just came up all of a sudden and that we just rushed it through now because all of a sudden July 29th passed. If that fits your narrative, great. Go ahead and do your thing, run with it. I'm just telling you that if you do your research and you do your homework, you'll see that we've been meeting on this for quite some time already. It didn't just pop up last week or 2 months ago. With that, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Gibner.
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, so the one thing I wanted to reiterate was that we have been talking about these salary increases for quite some time. I think we started talking about these in March of this year. I know we were absolutely talking about them in May, so I'd have to look back at my notes to see, but these were not proposed by city councilors. These were proposed by the HR director of the city, and they were proposed more than a month ago. They weren't proposed last month. They weren't proposed in the middle of July. They weren't proposed just now. This is not new information. It's just finally getting to the council for a vote. I also wanted to reiterate the fact that if somebody thinks that they should run for mayor because of the pay grade, they're probably not the person we want running anyway. I don't see anything nefarious happening. These are not negotiation, but these are discussions that we've been having for several months, at this point. As far as the meager pay raises, I would reiterate that, I thought it was an interesting tidbit to hear that in order to have the spending power that somebody would have, in the 70s, we'd have to make like $66 an hour. That's wild, considering that $20 isn't even the minimum salary range. I mean, these numbers are crazy. I don't want to say that to make it sound like I don't feel for the taxpayers. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a homeowner. I'm feeling the crunch. I'm feeling the pinch. But I don't think that these raises to city government officials are the problem. I think, we have infrastructure issues that we haven't been dealing with. We have, we have a lot of problems as a city. And that's what we spend a lot of time in here talking about. I would also like to add that when we look around this room, the people who do run for office they have some privilege, right? Like you have to be able to afford to sit here. You have to be able to support yourself somehow. And if that, extra $2,000 or extra $4,000 helps somebody to, be able to afford to work a couple less hours at one job and spend more time on the city, I think that's really great. Also knowing now, like, I don't think that anybody runs because of what we're paid, because it's not enough. We basically make like 2 cents an hour if you start to calculate what we actually take home. It's really a stipend, so I don't think this should be a big issue. I think for the people that it helps to help them run for public office, I think it's really important because, unfortunately, most cities don't have enough of the people who live there and work there and, really spend all their time in the communities having the opportunity to run. So if this helps more people run, I think it's a really great thing. But I just wanted to reiterate that point that this is not new information. We didn't just start talking about this. This came out of HR. I want to say at least 6 months ago. I could be wrong, but it definitely came out before people pulled papers. So anyone who would have pulled papers would have known that there would have possibly been an increase, on the table for city councilors or the mayor. So if you didn't run for mayor because you didn't like the number at the time, well, maybe you should pay more attention to city council meetings. And if you ran only because of that, I don't think you're the person for the job anyway. So I just wanted to reiterate that I don't think there's anything nefarious going on. We're just talking about money in the city like we always are. These are not new discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Thank you, Madam President. I guess I first want to start with, unfortunately, some of the comments that were made I found quite offensive. But, this is my fourth term, so I learned to have a very thick skin. But yeah, it's still offensive, and when you make it public, it's, I don't know, it's just, it's uncalled for. That's how I feel. I was going to ask, how long have this been in committee? And what it sounds like, it's been in committee since March. And it's been part of the discussion. But I guess another question I wanted to ask is, when was the last time, and for the record, I'm not doing this for the money, because I will, for the record, I get in a month, $719. I don't hide that. $719 I get for the work I do for the city, and I don't do it for the money. I want to be clear. I do not do it for the money. Okay? But does anyone know when the last time a city council or the city council got a raise? Because I believe it was like in the 80s or something like that, and either late 80s or 90s or something like that. It's been many, many, many years. Very, very long time. So again, clear, I'm not doing it for the money. What I started thinking about was when it's time to pull papers, when nomination papers are ready, and we're trying to get folks to run against me. I don't care. Run against me. Run against my colleagues. Run. Get you engaged. But when people ask, what do you get paid? Because yes, it's a factor. We have lives. We have to pay bills, right? And some of us don't have that good job. Some of us don't have a regular job that it's going to allow you to work off this salary to factor that into your lifestyle. It's just no way. So that means that only certain individuals will sit in these chairs. Is that fair to the city as a whole? For people who might have different point of views that would love to engage? No. So sometimes you have to make it worth that while. And again, if I'm going to vote for this, I'm not voting for the mayor. No, not for the mayor, not for me, not for any of you, for the people who say, I want to put my hat in the ring, but financially I can't afford it. Because think about it. This line of work takes away from our families and friends. And can we talk about the stresses we go through? Okay? So this has nothing to do with the mayor or money in my pocket. I want to make that clear because this is my fourth term. I'm now going into my fifth term, so it's very clear. I am definitely not doing it for the money. This is because it's what is right. Plain and simple. There is no scheme, there is no game. It's plain and simple. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. So I wanted to name that this order was originally filed May 2nd of 2023. 2023. by our director of HR,
por nuestro
Human
director
Resources,
de
who wanted to
recursos humanos
share,
que quiere
we
compartir
should be updating
que
these.
nosotros
And
debemos
here is a
actualizar eso. Y
comparison
aquí está una comparación
between you and other towns,
entre
because
aquí y
counselors are
otros
starting to bring up their concerns that, one, we weren't
pueblos.
seeing a lot of people interested in running for office,
De que primero nosotros
and
vemos
also
bastante
that, it was
personas
part
que
of a
quieren
wider
correr por
concern.
oficina.
Look at all these positions we're having a
Mira
hard
toda
time
la
holding
oficina
on to employees. There's a lot
que
of
no
turnover, and it's very
hay
expensive to
bastante
retrain people, to find
hay
people, all of
bastante
that. And there's just hidden
personas
costs every
renunciando
time
y
we
es
lose
muy
an employee.
costoso cada vez que
And
tenemos que
so
entrenar a una persona, así que
that was submitted.
eso fue sometido.
It was taken up in committee
Se
a
habló en
year
comité
later.
un año después
Now in April,
y
April
ahora en abril
27th, 2024.
27,
And at
2024.
that point,
Y en
a
ese
number of
punto,
counselors,
un
again,
número
these
de
are
concejales
procrastination, delay tactics, said,
y
well,
esas
now the information seems old.
procrastinaciones
Could
y
you give us
tácticas
new information?
y ahora que tenemos la
I feel like we need
información,
updated
yo
information.
creo que son informaciones de
That
actualización.
updated information was
Esa
then
información
found, was then
luego
rebrought to the committee. And we looked at it
encontrado y
again
luego lo
November
evaluado
13th
noviembre
of
13
2024.
de 2024.
Sorry, we looked at it October 9th
Pero
of
lo vimos
2024,
octubre
then
9
again in
2024.
November 13th of
Y luego
2024,
en noviembre
and then we brought it up
y
again
luego lo
June
traímos
16th,
en
2025.
junio 16, 2025.
So it's not like this is coming up
Así
out
que
of
no es
left
que eso
field.
viene sobre
And every
de la
time it's
nada.
come up,
Y
the
cada vez que
same
viene,
counselors
es lo mismo
have
concejales
aired a whole different slew of concerns.
han hablado
And they're
sobre
different every
un
time.
montón de preocupaciones
But the
y son
concerns are
diferentes,
still
pero
there.
las preocupaciones están ahí
And the votes are
y
still
los votos
against it.
están en contra.
I think it makes
Así que yo
sense
creo que
for,
tiene sentido.
if you look at this, I think it
Si ve
freaks
eso,
people out.
yo creo que
I understand
asusta a mucha
that.
gente
The
y
numbers
entiende
look
eso,
really
los
high.
números se ven muy
It's also
altos.
because there's a big
Y
gap
también porque
between
hay
where we
un
are and where our
gran
surrounding
espacio
towns
donde nosotros
are,
estamos y
and our
algunos
HR director
pueblos.
was doing what we
Y nuestro
tasked
director
her to do, which was to go find
estaba
us
haciendo lo que
what would
nosotros
bring
dijimos
us up to
que
comparative
le preguntamos que
rates in the
que
towns
nos
that
traigan
surround
las
us.
tarifas y
And
lo que
we
están
are
pagando
not
alrededor y
in
nosotros
alignment with them.
no estamos en línea con ellos.
Some of us, I think, maybe are proud of that. I
Algunos de
think
nosotros
there are other
estamos
of us who are
orgullosos de
saying,
eso.
let's try to bring it up more to what other area
Y otro
towns
dice que
are compensating people for.
vamos a tratarle de
So,
subirlo a lo que
I think
otra
maybe
área
this looks like a
y
lot.
pueblos lo tienen.
Maybe
Para
there's a
algunos,
compromise.
posiblemente
I
se ve
also don't
como
hear
mucho,
anyone
posiblemente un
saying that.
compromiso.
People seem interested in saying, yes, 100%, let's go, or absolutely not, nothing. And for the folks who are saying no,
Realmente yo no oigo a la
I
persona
would love to
diciendo
hear
100% yo estoy de acuerdo con
what's
eso.
your offer? What
Y
are
la
you
gente que
interested in
dicen que
doing?
no.
Do you want to keep things exactly
Y
as
si
they
quieres
are?
mantener
Or
las
are you
cosas
looking at this
exactamente
and
como
saying,
están,
you know what, it's
o está
reasonable.
viendo eso,
City
o
council
sabe que
president right now makes
ese es el valor.
$1,000 more than what anyone else makes. It's insane.
El presidente
The amount of work that we're asking our city
concejal
council president to do
hace $1,000
for
de lo que hace todo el
$1,000
mundo.
a year. It is a thankless,
Es
very
increíble.
hard task.
Es
They
una
represent
tarea
us at
muy
every
difícil. Ella
ceremonial
nos
thing.
representa en todas
They
las
take
cosas
every call.
ceremoniales.
They're answering
Ella
every
toma todas
email.
las
They're in lots of organizational
llamadas. Ella
meetings.
está en bastantes organizaciones.
I think that position
Yo creo que
deserves
esa
more
posición
than $1,000
merece
more
más que
than the people who are
$1,000
sitting in this
de que
side
las personas que están sentando de este
of the
lado.
dais. So maybe there's a compromise. Maybe we should be
Así que
saying, well,
posiblemente hay un
let's
compromiso.
do a $2,000 raise to the city council president, a
Así que diga,
$500 raise for city councilors.
vamos
Maybe
a
the mayor should
incrementar,
have a $5,000 raise. I'm just not hearing any
$2,000,
compromises. That doesn't seem in any way realistic to me.
$2,000 o $500.
That's how most
O
people
$5,000 para el alcalde.
operate.
Eso es como,
We're far away from where we
como
should be.
opera
Let's
la
take a
mayoría
step
de las
forward.
personas. Así
And I
que
don't hear that
yo no
either.
estoy escuchando eso tampoco.
So that's why we, the committee moved it in the way that we did, because the feeling was that, at least
Por
from
eso
my
que el comité lo
perspective,
movió
it
de la
didn't matter
manera
what the
que él
numbers
se
were.
movió.
The answer would be
Porque
no.
el sentimiento está ahí, no importa cómo
So,
nosotros lo
okay,
hagamos.
here's
La
the
respuesta va a
numbers
ser
that were
ahí.
given to us.
Aquí
Here's
están
what
los
was
números que nos
proposed
dieron.
by
Eso es lo que estaba
the professional that we
ha sido
asked to do the
propuesta del
research
profesional
and
que
bring the
nosotros
numbers to
preguntamos que
us.
hiciera la investigación y nos trajeron los números.
We can always say,
Nosotros
let's lower it.
siempre podemos decir,
But I
vamos a
don't
ir hacia
hear that
adelante.
either. I just hear
Pero yo no
no.
oigo eso
Thank you.
tampoco. Yo solamente oigo no.
Thank you.
Así que
I have
gracias.
Councillor Devine.
Luego tengo cosas que activar.
Hello,
Así que
Meg
hola.
just took all of my
Así que Meg
sayings. I think
solamente
she
me
did a
quito.
great
Yo creo
job.
que ella dijo todo.
One of the things
Una de las
that I
cosas que
also
yo también
agreed with
estoy de
her
acuerdo con ella
was,
es
and not to
que
embarrass our city council
y no
president, but out of all the city council presidents that I've worked under, no one has worked as hard as Tessa Murphy Ramboletti. She is everywhere. She goes to meetings. She leaves work to go to these meetings. She lets us know about these meetings, and to get a lousy $1,000 more. That $1,000 goes way back to the time of Joe McGivern, the time of Bob McGee. It doesn't go to her. And it really,
hasta John
I
McGee.
believe she needs more than
Yo creo que ella
$1,000.
necesita más que
And just for a little
Y solamente
background,
por un
for
respaldo.
those of you
Para
that
aquellos
may
que
not
realmente no
know,
saben.
many years ago, I was getting off the council and we were
Hace
making
años atrás, nosotros estábamos haciendo
$750 a year.
$750
I
al año.
can't remember who brought it up,
Así que yo no
but it
entiendo
was
quién lo
brought
trajo,
up that it
pero
was
fue
going to be
traído
to
de que lo van a
$10,000,
subir
which is
a
what we're
$10,000,
presently
lo
making.
cual
And this was
está
years
hablando
and
de
years
estos
and years
años y
ago.
años y
And I
años
remember
atrás.
sitting here
Y yo me acuerdo
thinking how
sentado aquí,
strange it
qué
is
tan raro es
to vote for my own
para
raise,
votar por mi
and it was
propio
a
voto.
pretty
Y
substantial
fue
raise.
un voto
But
muy
then I
sustancial.
thought
Y
about
luego yo
it.
pensé,
We didn't have
nosotros no
Zoom.
teníamos Zoom,
We didn't have half the
no teníamos
way that we were able to do council
ni la mitad de la
meetings.
manera que
We
nosotros
had to go to city council meetings.
tenemos
We
que ir a
had to do
consideración,
our homework.
tenemos que
And
hacer
that's
nuestras
why
tareas.
I voted to
Y por
increase
eso nosotros
our
votamos para
salaries
incrementar
from
nuestro salario
$750 a
de
year to
750
$10,000 a
a
year.
$10,000.
And I had no
Y yo
problem
no
with
tengo
that
problema con eso,
whatsoever. But it has
pero
been a
ha
long
sido
time.
bastante
And
tiempo.
like Councilor McGrath Smith said,
Y como lo que dice el
I
Consejo
don't think
Municipal,
anything's stuck in stone.
yo no
Let's
creo que
move
todo
this
está
forward to after
en
January,
concreto.
after
Movemos
that
eso en
swearing in
enero
takes place, and then let's
y luego
negotiate
vamos a negociar
reasonable raises. But the one that I
incrementar
really think is
razonable,
out
pero uno de
of,
lo que yo realmente creo
should
que
not be
no debería
this
ser
low
tan bajo
is our
de
president,
nuestra
because she
presidenta,
does
porque
an
ella
awful
hace
lot. And
bastante
I'm trying not
y
to
yo trato de
embarrass
no
her, but
embargazarla,
she does.
pero
And
ella
I
hace,
think
así
everybody
que
here knows
yo
that.
sé que todo el mundo
Thank
aquí
you.
sabe eso, así que gracias.
Thank you. I have Councilor Graney.
Okay, yo tengo el consejo de Green.
I'll cut to the chase.
Yo voy
We
rápidamente.
have
al queso.
constituents out there that don't make $30,000 a year. I can't vote for a
Tenemos-
$30,000 increase for the mayor.
Tenemos constituyentes que no hacen
Thank
$30,000
you.
al
I
año.
have
Yo no puedo
Councilor Rivera
votar por
for a second
$30,000
time,
de
and then Councilor
incremento
Jardine
para
for a
el
second
alcalde,
time.
así que gracias.
I'm making sure I'm not missing anyone else.
Así que quiero seguir
Oh, this Councilor Rivera. I apologize. Jenny Rivera. For the first time.
Por la primera
My
vez.
bad. Usually I put your first initial.
Perdón, yo siempre
Oh,
pongo
and
tu
Councilor
inicial.
Sullivan.
Y concejal Sullivan.
So Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Thank you, Madam President. So when I give the yes vote, I'm not taking it as I'm voting or giving myself a raise because of counselors, current counselors, this term and the
Por ese
previous
término
term.
y el término
I have a preliminary election coming up on the 16th, so
yo tengo una
I don't even
elección
know if I'm going to
preliminar,
get
yo no sé
in.
si voy a venir.
I know I'm doing my things
Yo sé
right.
que
The
estoy
stuff
haciendo
these
mis
other
cosas bien.
well, one specific counselor
Pero yo sé lo que ese
is
concejal
doing it. It's the
está
wrong way,
haciendo
but
de la manera
whatever.
mal, pero
So I just want to say
yo solamente quiero
when
decir que
I first entered
cuando
here,
entré aquí,
myself and Counselor
mi
Izzy
persona y
Rivera,
concejal Jenny Rivera,
we worked at the school department. I went to school for that,
fuimos al
and we
departamento
had
de
to
escuela y
leave
fue a la escuela y tuvimos que
because
salir
of city
porque
council,
el concejal de la
and
ciudad
we were told
nos dijeron
how frustrated they were here.
que
So
tan
we had to
frustrante
choose either
fue
to
así.
become a city
Así
councilor
que
and
tenemos que
make
elegir
$700 a month
entre
and
ser
quit the
concejal de la
school.
ciudad y renunciar a
Izzy
la
and
escuela.
I
Izzy y yo
said
dijimos,
we'll be city councilors for
vamos a
free.
ser concejal de la ciudad
We'll
por-
still
de
work for
gratis.
free because
Todavía
that's
vamos a
what we
trabajar
love
de
to
gratis
do
porque
in
eso es
our
lo que nos
community.
gusta
We
hacer
like
en
to
nuestra
volunteer for
comunidad,
everything.
nos gusta
I
ser
go to
voluntario
all
por todo.
wards.
Yo
I
voy a
don't
todos
just
los
stick
wards.
to Ward
Yo
1.
solamente no me
I get
quedo en
calls
en el
from all wards
sector 1. Yo me
because
llaman
I
de todos los
know
sectores porque yo
everyone,
sé que todo el
mostly
mundo,
everyone in Holyoke.
mayormente todo el mundo en
So I
Holyoke.
just don't
Así que
concentrate
yo
on
no
Ward
solamente
1.
me concentro
And
en
if
el
there's
sector
something that's
1.
in another ward and I
Y si
can't
hay
handle
algo
it,
que
I
hay
try to
otro
reach out to
sector,
the
yo trato
counselors
de
in
hablar
that
al
ward to
concejal
help out.
para
Even Councilor
ayudar,
Carmen
incluso el
Ocasio,
concejal
before she
Carmen
even
Ocasio,
became a city
antes de que
councilor,
ella
me and
fuera
her
concejal de la
were
ciudad,
down
ella y
in
yo
South Holyoke,
estábamos en South
helping out
Holyoke,
all those victims for the
ayudando a
fires.
todas esas
I
víctimas
can't
del
say I saw
fuego. Yo no
many
digo que yo vi,
counselors out there. She
yo no
wasn't
puedo
even a
decir
counselor.
que
Counselor
vi
Ocasio is
bastante
just like me.
concejal
She's
Ocasio,
always
ella
out in the
también, como yo,
community,
ella está en
and
la
not just
comunidad,
because she's
y
a
no
city
solamente
councilor,
porque
because
es
this is
concejal de la
what she
ciudad,
was
porque
doing
eso es lo que ella estaba
before
haciendo
becoming a
antes
city
de
councilor.
ser parte de la
Her
concejal de
and
la
I
ciudad. Ella
were
y
at
yo
that fire with those victims,
estábamos
bringing them
en
to
ese
hotels,
fuego,
helping them get
trayéndolos,
food, helping them get
ayudándole
clothing. We're
con
doing that
comida,
for free.
dándole comida y ropa.
Because I
Y
wasn't
estábamos haciendo eso por
expecting to
gratis
get
porque
paid just because I'm
realmente me
helping some victims out. When the fire happened in the flats, where people died, jumped out of the buildings. I was there. I didn't sleep. I was there. I was there helping. It was winter and it was very cold. I was there helping. So I'm not giving myself a raise because, to be quite honest, it's $700 and something a month. I'm a director of operations. I have a full-time job. I'm a justice of the peace. I'm a notary public. I do a lot. So this is, I'm doing it for my community, and that's what I like to do. And on top of that, the donations people ask for you. Most of my $700 goes towards donations to the community because they also ask for donations. And I try to help out as much as I can. So to just sit there and say that we're giving ourselves a raise, no, like Meg said, this is on there for 2 years. The problem we have is a lot of these things stay in the jacket, and they don't get pushed forward. So we're not doing it to give Josh a $30,000 raise. We're doing it because it was brought up in 2023 when the HR director was told to get numbers. So with that being said, I am going to vote yes on it because, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be voted in with all the fraud that individual is doing. But do I care? I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be here for Holyoke. Holyoke people are still going to know me. And not because I'm a city councilor, because that's not why people know me, because I'm a city councilor. I'm out there and I help out a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Councilor Jordan and then Councilor Sullivan.
I'm willing to wait if he wants to. I don't think Mike spoke yet. I'm willing to wait.
Councilor Sullivan?
Councilor Sullivan? You better go ahead and speak because I'm going to make a motion.
Yeah. All right. So then I guess I'll reclaim my time then, if I may, Madam President. Thank you. So a couple of things. I just want to clarify one point about what I was saying is these are the things that put the council in an unfavorable light. And this is the point that I'm trying to make is, I'm not saying anybody's intending to be unethical. It's that these type of things, when they come in after the deadline to file, when no other candidates can run for these positions, listen very carefully to what I said. I said that you could be accused of that because nobody else is going to get this money other than the mayor, Joshua Garcia. January, you are voting. No other person can run. The election is a fait accompli. He's going to get it. More power to him. But on January 1st, you are voting to give him $30,000 a year. And if you're on the council and you're unopposed, you are voting to give yourself $4,000. And for that matter, as I even said at large, 3 of the 6 of us are guaranteed re-election because there's only 9 people running. It's basic math, right? So the point is, why we have never done it that way is because we didn't want to be accused of doing that. It's not somebody, that's a big difference than somebody coming in here and saying, you're a this and you're a that, and name calling, okay? That's the distinction that apparently some in the room can't pick up on. As far as this point goes that, well, we've been discussing this for 2 years, and we've been debating it, and it's stuck in the jacket. I can't help how long it takes folks to get to a point to get things out of their jacket and get them up here for a vote, all right? But the fact of the matter is, this was not a done deal until right now. Here's the vote, yes or no. And if the council were to vote yes, and I don't think they will, but I think if the council were to approve this, then that's for us only, and for the mayor. The benefit of anybody, if you wanted to seriously have this, it should have been taken for a vote, yes or no, at the end of last year or the beginning of this year, when everybody had an opportunity to run for that, for all the good points that people made about, I have to sacrifice a lot of time to be here, time away from my job. Everybody in this room works hard. And as far as, you know, I was the president for 6 years, okay, as everybody knows. And I signed up for that. It's a totally voluntary thing, right? If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You don't get extra points because you sign up for something that's a voluntary thing. And I'm not just saying present company, I'm including myself, I'm including Joe and Todd, all the presidents I've been involved in. We signed up for that. I want more money because it's a totally voluntary thing. If you don't want to do it, right, then don't do it. And as far as the rest of it, this is just basic fairness to the democratic process. You have to give everybody knows what the deal is for the position in advance so they have an opportunity to make a fully informed decision whether they run or not. And the salary for the job matters. Because how do we want to be accused that somebody said, well, I couldn't afford to run for mayor at 100, but you know what, if I knew the job paid 130, maybe I could have afforded to run. I could have given up my current job or whatever and run. That's not fair to voters. That's not fair to candidates. That's why we don't do that. And but as far as where do we go from here? Well, the where do we go from here has another of open items that I mentioned, and that is the fact that, one, let's see what happens with the mayor's duties in the central government, and number two, we have ample opportunity not for the current mayor, but for 2030, that we could consider an increase for the next, whoever is elected in the next 4-year term. So that's the way it's always been done at the beginning of a term, but a term when it wasn't already decided. And that's the part that people are missing. It's not about, well, we talked about it as a maybe. I didn't know, and I follow this. I'm sitting here as one of the 13. If you told me 6 months ago, well, maybe on September 2nd, they're going to take a vote to pass that, I would have had no idea. And there's nobody following what goes on in this room closer than me, right? So there you have it. That's why we, in my opinion, have to vote no on this. I think it's the only correct vote. And we go back to the drawing table and discuss it for the next term, what the merits are. And again, there's a lot of changes being made in the mayor's position and whether or not, for the council position as well. And by the way, it was 2000 that we made the last change for council salary. Thank you.
I was in 6th grade. Councilor Sullivan.
Thank you. So, in the spirit of compromise, we have a small window, November and December, after the election. We wouldn't have to burden the next group of councilors in December, right, with making a decision about giving themselves a pay raise. Right? So my motion right now is to table the recommendation for Schedule B, and we take it up again in November after the current election.
I'll second.
Therefore, it will affect people in the next term. We can get it done through this body without affecting this body and not leaving it on the table for the next group to come in January.
So the motion's been made to table and it was seconded, so no further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay. It is tabled. But thank you all for a lively hour. Yes. Yeah, the whole thing's tabled.
No.
I'm sorry.
My motion was just for Schedule B.
Oh, I didn't hear you mention Schedule B. My apologies. So B is tabled. No further discussion. Thank you, Counselor. And then is there a recommendation? So the motion for Schedule C.
I think I did a motion to pass the first reading for both of them, and then they separated them.
Right, okay. So the motion to pass the first reading, this is for Schedule C. Changes, police matron,
para
substitute
la
nurse.
maternada de policía y
Motion to
sustituto
pass the
de
first reading.
moción para pasar
Any other
la
discussion?
primera lectura.
Okay.
Alguna oposición.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Alguien se opone.
Motion to pass the second reading.
Moción para pasar la
Motion to
segunda
pass the
lectura.
second reading.
Moción para pasar la
All those in
segunda lectura.
favor?
Todos a favor.
Aye.
Motion that the passage be ordained.
Moción para que
And
pase
motion
esta
that the
ordenanza.
passage be ordained. The clerk will call the roll. Who's
la
going first
secretaria
today?
de
Because we haven't actually voted on anything.
Porque no hemos votado en nada.
We voted on this.
Patty. Okay, Patty, you're going first
Okay,
tonight.
Pati.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Divine,
Yes.
Divine,
Givner,
sí.
Yes.
Givner, sí.
Graney,
Yes.
Graney, sí.
Jordan,
Yes.
Jordan,
McGrath-Smith,
sí.
yes.
McGrath-Smith,
Rivera
sí.
Bloody,
Yes.
Pasio,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Israel
sí.
Rivera,
Israel Rivera, sí.
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Sullivan,
sí.
Yes.
Sullivan, sí.
Bacon,
Bacon, sí.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Anderson
Bartley,
Burgos, sí.
Yes.
Bartley, sí.
unanimous vote.
Voto unánime.
Okay. With that, you've passed
Ok, con eso se pasó.
that.
Madam President,
Yes, Counselor.
Sí, pues, ok.
thank you. Just a motion to suspend the rules and take out of order
No, sí, por
the
suspender las
financial
reglas y tomar
transfers
fuera
that
de
pertains to
orden
Mr. Sheedy and
las
HPS.
transferencias
I
financieras
don't know
del
what
señor
numbers
Shiri
there, I apologize.
y HPS. No sé qué número es. me disculpo.
65 through 67.
65 y 60, hasta el 67. Segundo.
It may be an abbreviated reading.
De pronto una abreviación de lectura.
Okay, motion was made and seconded to suspend the rules and take items 65 through 67 up out of order and send to finance. I'll read them into the record. 65, an abbreviated version, is that the city council, that the city appropriate $8,691,405 for the purpose of paying costs of a replacement at Kelly School, the roof. Then 66 is that the city appropriate the amount of $4,988,497 for the purposes of paying costs of a replacement at McMahon Elementary School. Is that
El techo de la escuela
the roof?
elemental de McMahon.
And 67
Y el 67 es
that the city appropriate the amount of $12,945,697 for the purposes of costs for a replacement of the Holyoke High School roof. And the motion was send these to pass first reading and send to finance. Okay. All those in favor? Any opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
Okay.
Okay.
So moved.
Así que
Thank
sí,
you.
vamos. Gracias.
Thanks, Sean.
Gracias, Sean.
We'll make sure that you know
Ok,
when the
vamos a
finance
asegurarnos,
committee's
cuando
happening.
cuando esos comités van a pasar.
Well, yeah, so the
Vote to suspend the rules to allow Shanti to speak.
Moción para
Second,
suspender las
or
reglas y
is
que
there a
Sean pueda
second?
hablar.
All those in favor?
Todos
Any
a
opposed?
favor, si alguien se opone.
Okay. Yes,
Super brief.
Madam President.
Yes.
Thank you,
Sí,
Councilor
señor
Bartley.
presidente. Gracias,
Yeah, so the
Councilor
MSBA
Bartley.
at their most recent board meeting
Moción
voted
para
yes on these three projects. We
votos
will
sí
get
en
our
estos
80%.
proyectos. Nosotros
And
vamos a
another
obtener el
big thing
80% y lo otro
along
es
with it is the
en cuanto a
MSBA
eso,
is now
es que el
reimbursing for
MSBA
ADA
ahora está
accessibility. So not only do we get the opportunity to be able to do the roof,
así que no
but
solo no
upgrading
tenemos que
bathrooms to
hacer
be
el
ADA
techo,
compliant,
sino para
railings,
remodelar baños,
levers on doors, door widths.
rejillas,
So all of that is part of it, and they will
niveles,
reimburse us the 80%.
todas estas cosas que
Thank
nos
you.
devuelvan el 8%.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming. We have item 15, is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom is referred an order that department heads be given the authority to hire Schedule A positions above mid-range up to no more than max without needing further approval from City Council due to special circumstances. Recommended that the order be referred to the full council without recommendation. Before we start discussion, I hand it over to Councilor Rivera. I understand why folks want to send things without recommendation, but it is now almost 9 o'clock. We are on item 15. We have a full agenda, and so I got a hunch we're probably going to have to go over 10 p.m. It is what it is, but I just hope that we don't have to rehash everything that was discussed at committee. If we do, I might encourage you all to send it back to committee if this is going to take another hour or so. And I'm not trying to stop anyone from having their discussions, but for the sake of everyone, just keep it brief. Time yourself. I don't know. Do you want me to time you? I will. Let me know. So with that, I will hand it over to our chair, Councilor Rivera.
Thank you. Item 15, as it reads, pretty much is just to give department heads the authority to be able to hire above mid-range. There are multiple situations have arisen where qualified candidates or candidates that wanted to take the job or fill in the position have applied and they have gotten in, but the range that they're being offered doesn't necessarily match where they're coming from or where they're coming over to, and it's made it very difficult for a lot of the for HR specifically to fill in some of the positions. It's not per se to say that we want to take all the power away from the council. Everyone's of different opinions, but when you are trying to run the day-to-day operations of a city and you don't have the staff, it's difficult to be able to continue running or providing services for the community overall. I think one particular example that sticks out specifically is the one with the crime analyst. We had someone in the position. It was a particular unfortunate circumstance where we kind of offered her something more than we were supposed to, but just the back and forth and the nuances, trying to figure out where there was a happy medium made it difficult for the person that was hired, so they ended up leaving and finding another place of employment. And I think for us, in a position where we haven't had a city engineer for I believe over a year now, and there are other positions that haven't been filled in a long time, it hasn't actually given, or the fruit hasn't come to bear, I would say, with regards to the processes and the style of praxis we've been putting into practice as a council with regards to kind of policing how this is managed when we're hiring and bringing new employees on. So I know it says without recommendation. Again, it's because we wanted to move it to full council, and the only way I can move it to full council, because it wouldn't go through, is if we would be able to do it without recommendation. Normally, a committee that's functioning, a well-oiled functioning committee would be able to come to some compromise. As Councilor from the Ward 7, Meg McGrath-Smith, has mentioned before, it's been very difficult to get compromises, as we can see today. Just in and of itself, it's been difficult to even compromise with just listening to the public. So again, just no difficult explanations. Motion, I guess, to pass the first reading, if it's okay with y'all.
Motion's been made to pass the first reading under discussion. Councilor Jordan.
Yeah, Madam President, I didn't see items 15 and 16 in our packets. Did anybody get that on your desk? I don't see 15 and 16 here.
It should be there. I did see that.
It's definitely in the packet.
Is it? You have 15 and 16? I don't have a 15 and a 16.
No. I got it emailed to me, but I didn't.
Yeah.
You don't have it?
This is 16.
I don't have a 15 and a 16. Mine goes 14 to 17. She didn't get it. So maybe some got it. You don't have it? So.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so
They were available digitally.
They did get emailed to us, so they did go out, but if folks are not, if folks didn't go through the email attachments, I know there's a lot, but
there's no time consuming constraint on none of these. 15 and 16 can be taken as a package and sent to the table so everyone can see it with 2 weeks time, and then
sure. Councilor Bacon?
Thank you, Madam President. So I want to take your point relative to recommendations coming out of the committee. And my recollection is, and I could stand corrected, that we had 4 in the room at the time, so it was a tie vote, so it couldn't move out of committee, unless it came with no recommendation. But I really think committees should be making a recommendation, and the debate and the discussion, and if people want to put forth amendments within the committee, they're fully able to do that. But nobody has been doing it. So, but it could properly happen within the committee itself, so that when it comes to the council, there is a compromise that has been debated out in committee. And I might even, I'm considering to file an order that, for a rule that says that the committees must make a recommendation, because that's our job in the committee. And if we're debating it, well, that's why we have the committees, so we don't do it all in the full council. And somebody said something about having a diversity of opinion on the council. I think we have plenty of that here. Just saying. But I think these, rather than tabling them here, I think they should go back to committee, and we should come back with a recommendation from the committee, whether it's 3-2 or whatever it is.
Thank you. And I do
offer a motion to send them back to committee.
Sure, and that's fine. And I in my first term, when I wasn't president, I remember things being referred out of committee, and it could have been that the majority of the committee didn't vote in favor of it. That didn't mean that something didn't come out of committee. So, but was that a motion?
Yes.
Motion to take items 15, 16 as a package and send them back to committee. A second? Any other discussion, Councilor Rivera?
I would say no, because we've already had enough conversation on it. Whether or not, again, when it comes to no recommendations, I'm the chair. I'm the ordinance chair. I don't actually make a recommendation. I don't file. I'm not the one that does that. I allow everyone else to chime in, and I allow everyone else to do that. When that comes out of particular individual councilors that are doing that, it's because particularly they want to move it forward, but they don't want to opine, or they don't want to vote yes or vote no in that particular moment. So if they're not practicing that, that's on them. As the chair, I am committed to not being the one that takes full control of the meeting. All I do is facilitate. It's not for me to sit there and grandstand and talk all meeting. That's not how I run a meeting. I allow for everyone else that is on the committee to run the meeting, and I opine and chime in whenever I can. So if committee members would like to make recommendations and stop sending things without recommendations, I welcome it 110%. But the reality is I have no control over that as the chair. I can try to be an authoritarian, but that's not my style. I'm more of a socialist, so I bring everyone in. I don't give a damn. I say it out loud. I'm not afraid to speak my truths, bro. I'm not afraid to speak my truth, bro. Anyways, so back to the point at hand, right? So when it comes down to it, I don't want it to go back, because if it does, and I'm the chair, but you guys can do what you guys want, because you guys have been doing that for quite some time now. The reality is that there is no more conversation to be had on it. Everyone has spoken their piece, and they know where they stand on the particular items. So you'd be wasting the time, and the jacket is significantly full. And I'll stop, because people are looking at the clock, and I don't want to be the reason why we're here that much longer. I'll allow that to be someone else. My bad.
Okay. Councilor Jordan?
No.
It wasn't
the motion to
tabled.
send back to committee.
To committee.
Don't worry. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's all good. Councilor Jordan.
Thank you. the reason I'm going to vote to send it back to committee, and table's fine, but if we're going to table, I would ask whoever's advancing this to consider this question is, it says hiring under special circumstances. What, you need to define when these special circumstances are going to be, because in the first sentence it says, the mayor may be authorized to offer a starting salary to a prospective employee above the mid-range as set by the salary schedule for the position. He could do that for 100% of the cases, 1% of the cases. This is written so it gives the mayor 100% discretion in all cases. So how is that under special circumstances? So those are things, if we're going to write these things, they need to be so that it really is, as it's titled, hiring under special circumstances. Otherwise, you're just saying to the mayor, he can effectively, this ordinance, if adopted word for word, says the mayor can hire anybody at any salary up to the maximum salary for any position. That doesn't sound like hiring under special circumstances. Thank you.
I have Councilor Devine.
Yes, the more I think about this, I'm sitting here saying, in my past, on the city council, and we may be able to check with the city solicitor, a 2-2 vote was a no vote. So if you brought it out as a no vote because it was 2-2, that third person, I would think, would have the authority to change that 2-2. So that's just my opinion from past, remembering what a 2-2 vote was, and was that in Robert's Rules of Order. Thank you.
Anyone else? Councilor Jordan.
Well, I would assume everybody that's coming to the meeting is voting. So if it's 2-2, presumably that means there's only 4 people at the meeting. I hope no one's suggesting that the third person vote post the meeting's over with. How would the third person vote? Like, you either, at some point, you either have to compromise to 3-1, or correctly stated, 2-2 is a no, right? That part I agreed with. It was the, well, you then have the third person do something. I'm not quite sure what that was all about, but you need 3 votes to do something in committee. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So the motion was to send back to committee. It was seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay.
Show
of hands. It sounded, but okay. Show of hands. All those in favor of sending back to committee? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. So it's going to go back to committee, and we'll, I guess we'll see what happens. 17 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that the residency requirement for the CPO purchasing director be removed. Recommend that the order through a waiver option be adopted. Councilor Rivera.
So this is for our right now acting or interim purchasing director, I believe. And the idea was for the HR director came forward and presented the idea of changing the residency requirements for the particular position. We had debate and we had some conversation. I think her particular case was more or less that it's difficult to find people that are qualified and want to move to Holyoke so abruptly or so quickly for the rate of pay technically that we're putting out there, and at the same time the cost of living has significantly risen. So people that are already settled into a home with a specific interest rate that they probably got 10 to 15 years ago, depending on when they bought their home, would mean that they would be not only coming over to Holyoke, just selling their home, but they would also like uplifting and changing everything, but it would also change their financial status with regards to the day-to-day and their tax brackets and their interest rate for their particular home. So our current purchasing director, my understanding that she doesn't currently reside in the city, so we were trying to find a happy medium so that we can make sure that our current purchasing director doesn't remain the interim director. So the happy medium we found, thanks to Solicitor Bissonette, was we can set up a waiver for this particular individual so that she can serve, but it would only serve for this particular individual, and then once they resign or retire from the position, the residency requirement will go back into effect, and it would be a whole new conversation. I think for now, the committee wasn't too warm to just full-blown lifting the residency requirement, so we like we love the work. Let me rephrase. We love the work the current acting purchasing director is doing, and we don't want to lose her. So we found the happy medium, which is offering her the potential waiver. If there's any questions, feel free to ask me. I can expand more and possibly ask the Solicitor Bissonette if it's online too as well.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Bacon.
Thank you.
And then,
so in this circumstance, I'd like to point out a happy occurrence that the committee did compromise. Because
we love to see it.
Strongly held positions, and then we did ask for some input relative to being able to compromise. And there's also a unique situation with this employee. This employee was already an employee of the city and was in a position that did not require residency. And the current position that the employee is in was the result of a promotion. So it was a unique situation and not just somebody coming in the door for the position. And I think that made the committee warmer to a compromise relative to this recommendation, which I will be supporting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Jordan.
Yeah, just a technical amendment. Could we change of the full council, the words "the full" to say of all the members of the city council? That's one of our takeaways
on the language.
Yeah.
I'll second that. Is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay, that was a motion to make an amendment.
Yeah, so basically it's going to have the de facto same, but one of the things that we've learned from our charter review is that we're very precise in our wording when we're talking about vote requirements. And to say the full council, which is what I believe we mean, is all 13 members, a two-thirds vote, so that means it would be 9 votes would approve the waiver. One of our takeaways is that we don't use, we got to be consistent with our wording, is to just say two-thirds vote of all the members of the city council. So versus just saying the full council. It's more descriptive, and we've kind of, one of our takeaways has been, we're getting a little more precise with our wording. Okay, that's all.
Okay, I have, so that was a motion that was made and seconded. Councilor Rivera.
I would like to make an amendment to the amendment for it to say all members voting in present versus just all members.
So, okay, this is going
just to add voting and present at the end of all members to clarify. So that way we're clear.
I thought we had all gotten to a compromise, but yours we have not. Spoke too soon. I got excited.
One person can't dictate everything. Come on.
Oh, but my friends. Okay, so now I've got a couple amendments here.
I didn't hear a second for that.
No, okay. There was a motion.
I heard it.
Yo lo escuché.
I thought Coco seconded, so
Yo creo que Coco
it's okay. I have a sinus infection this year, so I can't hear anything on this side.
Del oído.
I'll second that.
Well, all right, that's fine.
Okay, está bien.
Okay, so we'll work our way first.
Okay.
I see how this is gonna go. Okay,
Vamos a hacer el
so
trabajo. Primero ya sé cómo esto
the
va a ir.
amendment was
El anexo
to,
fue para
the amendment to the amendment. Okay.
el anexo del anexo.
So, the amendment to the amendment
El anexo al
is
anexo
that
es
it's
que
the all those members
todos
present
los
and
miembros
voting.
presentes
Okay.
en votación, sí, eso fue.
Any other
Sí, lo que-
discussion?
algunos
We'll
que
vote on that first, and
Vamos a
then
votar
if we
en
need
eso
to, we'll
primero.
vote on something
Sí,
else.
tenemos que votar en algo más.
Okay.
Okay.
But we still gotta do,
Eso se
still gotta do
como
first
se hace
reading, right?
de la primera que lo haga.
We still have one, we'll see if this gets
Vamos a ver
amended
si
or
eso
not before we
tiene-
vote.
Okay, okay.
Un
So,
enmendamiento, ¿no?
we'll do that
Así
one
que vamos a
first,
hacer eso primero,
right?
¿verdad?
The amendment, we're only voting on the amendment of the amendment, okay.
Solamente
Okay,
estamos votando
sorry,
el amendamiento
it's
del
late.
amendamiento.
All those in favor
Todos
of
en
the
favor
amendment to the
del
amendment?
amendamiento.
Those opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
I'm gonna need to see, I just
Así-
wanna make
así que
sure,
ya
I don't want anyone to
tenemos
call
que-
shots on me, so,
No quiero que nadie me
if you
regañe.
are in favor
Si
of the
estás en favor
amendment
del
to the
amendamiento,
amendment,
al amendamiento,
raise your hand.
Levanta tu mano. Yo.
1, 2,
1,
3,
2, 3,
4, 5.
4, 5.
Okay. Now we
Y
do,
ahora,
so that fails.
Gotta announce the vote.
So
So
now,
then,
on the
thank you.
original one, which just says,
así que
right, changes the
Digamos
full
que
to
cambio
all the members of the city,
al cambio.
of the council.
Okay,
a todos los
so
concejales,
on that motion,
así que en esa moción,
all those in favor,
todos en favor.
Aye.
Yo.
raise your hands,
Levanta
we'll just
su
do it
mano.
now.
No.
1, 2, 3,
1, 2,
4,
3, 4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
and,
I saw 7.
sorry,
17.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's,
I think Meg voted, so.
okay, that, can you just, I'm sorry, from down here, that's not enough for me. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That
Ok, eso
passes.
pasó.
Now, pass the first reading.
Now,
as amended.
we will pass the first
Ahora vamos a
reading
pasar a la primera
as amended.
lectura.
I'll second that.
Es
Okay,
remendado.
all those in favor?
Todos en
Aye.
favor.
I need a motion to pass the
Una moción
second
para
reading.
pasar la
Pass the
segunda
second
lectura.
reading.
Pasar la primera lectura, la segunda
All those in
lectura.
favor?
Moción.
Aye.
Todos en favor, yo.
And
Motion to passage.
Moción de que
okay,
el paso sea
motion that the
ordenado.
passage be ordained. The clerk will call
Y
the
la
roll.
secretaría
If
va
you
a llamar
vote
en
yes,
regla, si vota
you
que
are
sí,
voting to the
vota
amended
para amendar
version of
la versión
this, that
de este.
it is all those
Divine.
of the body.
Del
Divine.
deseo del cuerpo.
Yes.
Sí.
Givner.
Gibner.
No.
No.
Rainey.
Rainey,
Yes.
sí.
Jordan.
Julián,
Yes.
sí.
McGrath Smith.
Ignacio,
Yes.
sí.
Revere and Blitty.
Nope.
Nope. No.
Ocasio.
Ocasio, sí.
Israel Rivera.
Israel Rivera, no.
Jenny Rivera.
Jenny Rivera,
No.
no.
Sullivan.
Silva,
Yes.
sí.
Bacon.
Bacon,
Yes.
sí.
Anderson Burgos.
Anderson Bacon, no.
Bartley.
Valles, sí.
8 yeas, 5 nays.
8 sí, 5 no.
So that did not pass.
Eso no pasó.
Motion to table
Moción para poner en la mesa. Segunda.
or send back to committee, whatever you
Enviarlo al
prefer.
comentario.
Table.
Comité.
Okay.
Ok.
Motion was made and seconded to
Moción
table.
se ha hecho y
All those in
secundado
favor?
para poner en la mesa.
Any
Por favor,
opposed?
¿alguien se opone?
Madam President, could I just
Señor
get 1 minute for
presidente, si puede
commentary?
hacer un minuto para
I kind of
comentario.
just really want to keep moving things forward, and I feel like we really
Okay.
kind of hash that out, if that's okay.
Fair
It's
enough.
just getting
No
kind of
problem.
late.
All right.
And so it's tabled, and we can
Sinceramente.
discuss it again next time.
Okay.
Madam President,
Counselor Bacon?
Con-
can we
Bacon.
suspend rules and take 18 and
Podemos
19 as a
suspender la
package?
regla
I
para
would love that.
el paquete.
Motion was made,
Moción
and
se
was
ha
there a
hecho
second?
Y
Second.
To suspend the
Segundo, para
rules and
suspender la
take
regla
items
y tomar
18 and
artículo
19 as a
18 y 19
package.
como paquete.
All those in favor?
Todos en
Aye.
favor.
Any opposed?
¿Alguien se
I'm
opone?
going to read them into the record.
Ok, voy a
18
leerlo al
is
récord.
Committee on
18,
Ordinance.
Comité de
Was referred in
Ordenancia,
order
a lo
that
cual se
the mayor be
refiere
authorized to exceed
ordenancia
the
de que el
minimum,
alcalde
the medium range hiring salary for the purpose of hiring a new Director of Public Works. This authorization shall expire upon said hiring and shall apply to no other positions, and that was recommended that the order be adopted. And then the Committee on Ordinance, to whom is referred an order that the Director of Public Works be moved from grade 14 to grade 15 of Schedule A, and that was recommended that the order be adopted. Councilor Rivera?
Both orders are as reads. For the most part, it's just trying to rectify the salary scales where we're at, and give some more autonomy to the mayor's office with regards to hiring someone above the medium range hiring salary. Again, we have positions that have been open for quite some time, and the mayor's office as well as the HR directors feel like their hands have been tied in the hiring process, and they feel like some of these strategies and mechanisms will allow for them, or will at least assist them in the process in hiring moving forward. We have a lot more work to do throughout the whole city to kind of get everything in line with regards to our salary scales. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Councilor Bacon.
I would note, and refer to our earlier discussion, that when people are looking for positions, and this is a perfect example of one, they absolutely do look at what potential salary is possible for the job that they may seek. So, I would ask that we vote on 19. I don't know if it's in order to, but maybe to suspend rules, vote on 19 first, because otherwise, if we vote on 18, we're not sure what the median range pay is.
Oh.
If we adopt 19, then we know what it is.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Make a motion not to vote on those
Okay. So the motion was made and seconded to vote separately on the two. I see Councilor Devine.
Yeah, no disrespect to anybody. Maybe it's just because I'm on Zoom, but sometimes your microphones are not that loud. So I just want you to be aware of that. It's difficult for me to hear sometimes.
Thank you. We'll try to remember. I'll try to remind everyone. Thank you.
Hers is very loud, so we can certainly hear that.
All right, so here we go. 19. We're going to vote on 19. And it's recommended that the order be adopted. I would entertain a motion to pass the first reading.
So moved.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Is the chair going to give?
Are you going to...
What?
Do you want to do a motion to pass the second reading?
Oh, my bad. Nah, I thought that was it. I didn't know I was still in the meeting. It just feels like.
Come on, I'm trying here.
I know, but it feels like
I'm not having fun up here.
It feels like more like it's like being dictated in a particular direction by a particular crowd. So it makes no sense for me to speak though. Like it gets to a point where like I present or whatever I say, it's either gets undone or it gets disrespected in a sense where like I'm being. How do you say it? The things that are being put out in committee are being attacked as fraudulent or unethical or whatever it is. Like someone's trying to connive or sneak something out. And the reality is, then what's the purpose, right? What's the purpose of me going ahead to lead when people don't believe in what I'm leading is honest?
Listen,
right?
if I woke up every day and thought that, then I wouldn't be standing up here because I know what you all say about me behind my back.
It has to be put out there that I'm being undermined, though.
Okay, then if you don't want to make a motion to second, then maybe someone else will. Do me a favor here, everyone.
They did it earlier.
Motion to pass the second.
They did it earlier. I don't know why it's a problem now. Like they did it earlier.
One at a time, and I'm literally just trying to make this meeting go forward.
Motion to pass the second reading.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye. A motion that the passage be ordained.
Okay.
Second.
Motion that the passage be ordained. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting in favor of item 19.
Divine.
Yes.
Gibner.
Yes.
Rainey.
No.
Jordan.
Yes.
McGrath Smith.
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti?
Yes.
Ocasio? Israel Rivera?
Yes.
Jenny Rivera?
Israel Rivera,
Sullivan?
Yes.
Bacon?
Yes.
Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Bartley?
Yes.
12 yeas, 1 nay.
With that, you've passed it.
Motion to take up item 18.
Motion to take up item 18. And would you like to pass the first reading?
Motion to pass the first reading.
Okay, under discussion, Counselor Bacon, I see your hand up.
I'm good for now.
Okay. Counselor Jordan?
I just wanted to raise a friendly suggestion. I'm in favor of 19. I think the committee made the right decision. I think the DPW's request, and I know the chairman, Mark Lubel, who I have a world of respect for, sent us a letter asking us to support the increase for the thing, and I voted for it. The only thing I'm going to just say is I want us to be careful about the discretion to go for the initial year. And let's just remember what we're doing here. By saying that we're exempting the initial employee to go beyond the mid-range theoretically means you can go all the way to the maximum salary, which I believe under what we just approved is $130,700. The concern that I have is if we grant the new employee the full maximum salary, there's nothing left for year 2 and year 3. Like, this person's going to be looking for pay raises. So I'm just saying, like, I get it that mid-range, I want to say was something in the order of like maybe 112, 114. It was, thank you, 112, 600. So I get that, right? And I'm supportive of that. But I'm wondering if we, in this, if everyone would feel comfortable putting like a cap that says beyond the mid-range, but like to 121,000. Right? And to say like, so at least the next year the person has room for a pay raise, because I'm afraid we're really blowing away salary schedule 15, which we just voted for, because if they put the person at the top salary and now there's no room to give this person a raise, like we're going to have immediate customer dissatisfaction here. And we got to allow ourselves some room to give the person COLA increases. So I was gonna make a friendly amendment to say mid-range up to $121,000. And I'm totally flexible on that 121 number, but I just think that's in our best interest to do that.
Okay, so there was an amendment that it's a that the mayor be authorized to exceed the medium range hiring salary until
to a maximum of 121 mid-range to 121. After year 2, they can go to the max anyway. He already has that authority. It's just for the start of the year.
Okay. That was seconded. So under discussion, I saw Councilor Bartley and then Councilor Bacon.
I would respectfully oppose that amendment only because, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but at some point you have to give the executive a little. You can't micromanage the executive that much, and especially in the exigent circumstances relative to this position. I think that the position hasn't been optimal for the last period of time, and I would like to give the mayor some. I think the mayor would understand some of the nuances relative to the salary schedule and relative to giving raises for the following year. So now if we just handcuff the mayor again, we could be right back to square one with a disastrous type of a scenario which we have right now in the Department of Public Works and Department of Labor. So I would just respectfully say vote to deny this motion.
Thank you, Councilor Bacon, then Councilor Sullivan, then Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you. The reason that I seconded that motion is because we just significantly increased the top salary from 118,800 to 137. The prior director who had come in above mid-range, just below the max range, to my understanding, when he left was at the max of the old range. So if we loosen up the median, and I think the word we're looking for there is median.
le faltamos al medio.
If we loosen it up to
Así que,
121, we're
si
still
lo
fairly
soltamos a
significantly exceeding the pay of
121,
the
estamos
prior
excediendo
director,
el pago
which
del
we
director.
were able to hire with engineer credentials and experiential credentials at, it was around 116 and up to 118. So I don't think we're hamstringing
Okay.
the mayor. If we couldn't run an
Si-
ad that
si
showed the
nosotros
range
no podemos-
going up to 130, I would say yes. If we were working
Si
with the old
nosotros estamos
range and we
trabajando
said,
con el rango
we'll
anteriormente,
expand the end up, then
expandir,
I would say yeah. But
yo digo,
this
pero
is a
esto,
good, well, it's a lot better range
eso
than
es
the
un
one
rango mejor
that was just there. So
de lo que estaba
I
ahí.
think it's a
Así que yo
reasonable
creo que es
thing to do.
una cosa
Thank you.
razonable de hacer.
Thank you. I have Counselor Sullivan
Así
next.
que gracias. Yo tengo el consejero
Yeah,
Sullivan, próximo.
Second, Councilor Bartley's
Ok,
opposition
segunda
on
cosa,
this
la
for two
posición del
reasons.
consejero
Number one,
Barkley está en
we
posición.
currently have an engineer
Porque nosotros tenemos
at
un ingeniero
121 that would still
de
be
1.21.
less than a person working
Right,
for the person that's in there. Also, in
Esa-
advertise, if somebody does take it
Y
at
si alguien lo
130,
toma,
if the mayor
130,
did
y si
have to
el
go to the
el
max,
alcalde
if the
tiene que ir al
person was
máximo,
dissatisfied
y
and
si la
couldn't get a
persona
quorum
no está
increase, they knew
certificada
damn well when they took the job that they were capped in
de
the
que
first place.
estaban
So as far as their
tienen un
dissatisfaction,
tope
I
al principio.
don't know what to say about that. They knew, like I said, damn well when they took the job. So
Thank you. Counselor
Okay.
McGrath Smith and then
Gracias,
Counselor
consejero
Bacon.
Gracias.
Thank you. I agree with several of the comments that have been made around
Okay,
allowing the executive the ability to
algunos
figure out how to get
comentarios que se
this
hicieron para
um,
permitir al
corrected.
ejecutivo que
This has been
esté
a
correctivo.
disaster
Este ha
of
sido
a
un
position
desastre
ever since I
de
was on
posición
council, 8
desde
months
que
without
estaba
an engineer at
concejal.
all, or sorry, without a
Y
DPW
incluso
director
con
at
los
all.
ingenieros y todo, incluso
And then,
con el
like,
director de
interim,
PW y en
our
interim.
current interim DPW director,
Y el
Mary
director
Monahan, our
de
amazing
PW,
chair
Mary
of Board of Public Works, has
es
indicated that she
ha
is stepping
indicado
down
que
at
ella
the end of
va a
September.
salir al final de septiembre.
We have to figure this out
Nosotros tenemos que darnos cuenta
now.
de esto ahora mismo.
And we need to give the
Y
mayor every
nosotros tenemos que
flexibility
darle al
in order
alcalde
to
una
get the
posibilidad
right person
para conseguir
in
la
this
persona
role.
correcta en este
We
rol.
have to attract the right
Necesitamos
candidate.
tratar el candidato
I would encourage
correcto. Así que voy
everyone
a
to
pedir a todo
allow
el
the
mundo
mayor this
para permitir
flexibility. In this
al
instance, I
alcalde
think it is
esta posibilidad en
absolutely
ese instante. Yo
wise
creo
to do
que
so.
es sabio hacer esto.
Okay, I have Counselor
Ok, yo
Bacon
tengo
and
que
then
al
Counselor
consejero
Jardine.
Bacon y luego al
I'll be
consejero
brief.
Jardine. Voy a ser
I
rápido.
can accept the
Yo puedo
argument
aceptar el
around the
argumento.
flexibility, but not the argument that somebody else is making more money than that person would make. Because there can be a very senior, experienced engineer
Aquí
that should be making more money because they've
yo sé
got their
que
time
un
in and they're at
ingeniero
the top of their
es-
scale.
con
And
experiencia
there
debería
could
ser más
be a
dinero.
less experienced
Y
director
puede haber un
coming in.
director con
and
menos
there's not a
experiencia
conflict
y no hay un conflicto ahí.
So in terms of just that particular argument, if the body wants the mayor to have the full flexibility, then
Si en
the vote will
particular,
go
si
that
el
way.
argumento de
But,
que el cuerpo,
I
de
just
que
don't accept the
aquí el
argument
equipo,
that a person that was working somewhere for
que el
20 years
alcalde
couldn't
tenga
make
la
more money than a
flexibilidad.
new hire. So, just 'cause they're
Sinceramente no
boss,
puedo
that
aceptar
was-
que una persona que esté trabajando aquí por
Anyway,
20
thank you.
años haga más
Counselor
dinero,
Jardine.
Yeah,
no haga
I'll,
más dinero
I'll
que una
retract the
persona que
amendment.
lo contrae.
However,
Que sea
I'm
nueva
glad we just
contratante
had this
y que por como quiera
discussion
nosotros tuvimos
because
esa discusión porque
when this person, if they're
cuando
offered
esta
the
persona
maximum
si le
salary and
ofrecen
there is no room,
el
and then we're
alcalde
just going to
el
say,
salario
oh,
máximo.
well, I guess they'll just
Y
be
sí, solamente va a
dissatisfied.
ser
That doesn't
insatisfecho.
really work around
Eso
here. I
realmente
see
no
how
trabaja
this
ahí.
is.
Yo veo cómo esto es.
Basically, the
Básicamente,
dynamic in this
la
current
dinámica en
government
este
is
gobierno
all I
es que
tell everybody is,
todo lo
I'm
que le
going
digo
to
a todo el
leave.
mundo, yo voy a
Okay,
lo voy a
I'm
hacer.
going to leave unless you give me more money. And everybody around here is
Y de
tripping
que-
over themselves
de que
to run
para
into
que
city
nadie-
council and change all these ordinances.
Nadie esté
Ergo, why
tropezando
we're
aquí
here.
para cambiar
This
todas
isn't
las
the first
ordenanzas. Es la
movie we've
primera
gone through
película
with
que
this
nosotros hemos pasado
position.
con esta
We
posición.
went to
Nosotros fuimos
118.
uno-
Now we're
una
going
vez
to
y ocho.
131,000. And my point is, it's insatiable, right? Because now you're going to give them 131, and then they're going to turn around and say, I'll leave after 1 year, this person now, you're going to get them on board, they're going to be managing, you're setting up us for a failure here, is the way I see it from a management perspective. Because if you have no room in Schedule 15 that we just approved 5 minutes ago, then where are we? We're running off the table. We're running off the chart. We're going to have to go 16, 17. I mean, at what point does it get to we just pay whatever anybody wants and we'll just say I'll leave? So that's I don't think this is creating inflexibility. I think it's creating realism that at some point there is a maximum that this city can afford to pay this position. Right? So I'm just saying I just hope if this is what we're saying now, it's 131 is the pay, and that's the cap. Okay, fine. If we get somebody phenomenal and they'll take the 131 and they never get a raise, great. But we'll see if that plays out that way. My experience in management, and I've led some pretty big organizations, that is not generally the case. So, hey, we'll see how it goes. I've seen this movie before in other positions where we went to the max salary, and then I get requests when my prior incarnation on the council coming in looking for all these salary adjustments, and we were reticent to say at some point that's what the position pays. As long as we're saying that 130 whatever is the salary, that's fine. But we'll see how it goes. So I'll withdraw my amendment. I hope it plays out as smoothly as suggested. Thank you.
Okay, so then we're gonna go with the original order. And I can't even remember. Did we do the first reading?
Pass the second reading?
Did we do the second? Or are we just on the first reading?
We're on the second reading now.
So let's vote on the first reading first. So the motion to pass the first reading. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
Motion to pass the second reading.
Motion to pass the second reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion that the passage be ordained.
And motion that the passage be ordained. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting in favor of agenda item 18.
Divine?
Yes.
Givner?
Yes.
Rainey?
No.
Jordan?
Yes.
McGrath-Smith?
Yes.
Murphy-Ramboletti?
Yes.
Ocasio? Israel Rivera?
Yes.
Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Bacon?
Yes.
Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Bartley?
Yes.
12 yeas, 1 nay.
Okay, with that, you've passed item 18. Great. 18.
Madam President?
Yes.
Just for clarification, for number 20, I believe, and Jeff can correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't have, or we have the legal language, but they had to check some details. We don't write the measurements and all that, so we'll keep that one tabled for now.
Table 20.
And then take 21 to 23 as a package.
So motion to suspend. Oh, okay. Councilor Ocasio?
Okay,
I need you to speak into the microphone, please.
on this gentleman here, Jeffrey told me to look into, he's having a little problem. Because where they cannot put the handicap thing at.
Donde ellos no pueden poner
He
el
doesn't
tema
want
de
to put it
incapacitado.
in the house before because he's scared that they might retaliate with him. So he just said just to leave it alone. And I
Dice,
told him to come
no lo
to
que
the
poner en la
clerk's
otra
office
casa
and
porque
let
dice
them know
posiblemente
also.
pueden,
He said just to leave it
se le
alone
dañe,
because
dijo
he
que lo deje
doesn't.
así.
Is this the one with the two driveways that are too close together to put the sign?
Ese es
Sure.
donde están las...
Just so it's clear, the
el
clarification.
parqueadero que
So
junta.
the Disabilities Commission approved this. When I reached out to DPW for measurements, they said that they couldn't approve it in front of this particular house because a handicap spot has to have at least 18 feet, plus you need at least 5 feet on each side from the driveway, and there's not enough space in front of this particular house. So we reached out to Councilor Casio to see if the resident would be willing to reach out to their neighbors to have them ask if it could be in front of one of the other houses, but it sounds like they're reticent to ask their neighbors for that.
I told him to ask the neighbor, and he said that he's not going to even bother asking because he's scared. So I told him, well, can, go across the street and ask that neighbor, or just switch up, because the other one doesn't have a handicap. So to put it right in front of him, and he said no. So
should we give it, do you want to give it leave to withdraw? Okay.
I'll make a motion to give it leave to withdraw if he doesn't want to
Para
pursue it.
sacarlo si él no quiere seguirlo, él no quiere seguir.
Councilor Rivera, was that a second?
¿Hay una segunda?
So, to give leave to withdraw, all those in favor? Any opposed? And then there was a motion to suspend the rules and take items 21 through 23 as a package.
Second.
They are all being given leave to withdraw, so I'll just briefly read them into the record. 21 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom is referred an order that the city solicitor be given the authority to hire a paralegal above the mid-range. 22 is that the City of Holyoke establish Schedule A homeless and housing liaison position. And 23 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that the police department be allowed to hire crime analysts past the grade 10 mid-range. And all of these are recommended that the order be given leave to withdraw. So, Councilor Rivera, anything you want to add?
Not necessarily, no.
No necesariamente.
Motion receive the committee, adopt the committee report.
The motion is to receive and adopt the committee report. Councilor Bacon, and then Councilor Jordan.
I just want to quickly note under item 23 that our police chief was able to hire a crime analyst.
On the motion.
Okay, on the motion to give leave to withdraw, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so that's 21, 22, 23. All right, moving on. Just starting finance at 9:30. So let's see how we can do this. And I just want to remind everyone to try and be brief. 24 is the Committee on Finance, to whom was referred a communication from the fire chief, the ambulance transport services feasibility study, recommended that the order be referred to the full council for referral to Public Safety Committee. Councilor Devine?
Yeah, we got this last week, I believe it was, so I'd make a motion to refer it to Public Safety.
Motion's been made and seconded to refer 24 to Public Safety. Is there any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? All right, that you've sent that to committee. Item 25 is the Committee on Finance, to whom is referred an order that there be a transfer of $83,656 from part-time associate solicitor to part-time assistant solicitor. Recommended that the order be returned to the auditor. Councilor Devine?
Yeah, I would make that recommendation that this order be returned to the auditor.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay. 26. Committee on the Committee on Joint Committee of the City Council and Schools, to whom was referred an order that HPS add signage to the west side of Peck School, stating the school's name. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Jordan?
Yes, that the joint committee report be received and adopted.
Motion's been made and seconded that the committee report be adopted. Under discussion?
Yeah, very briefly, the school department stated that this will happen and that the signage has been ordered and it will be put up as requested.
Okay, anything else? All right, on the motion that the order has been complied with and adopt the committee report, all those in favor? Any opposed?
Madam Chair?
Councilor
Señor presidente,
Greeny?
Consejo
We
Green,
take items 28
podemos
through
tomar artículo 28,
Or 27?
27 through
27,
32. They're all complied with.
32.
33.
Perdón,
They've all been
33, que
complied
todo
with,
ha
so-
sido
Okay.
cumplido.
Is there a second?
Hay una segunda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Those in favor?
Any opposed?
¿Se
Let me
opone?
just, I'll read
Voy
them
a
briefly.
leerlos rápidamente.
All of these have been complied
Todos
with.
esos
And so
se han
27,
cumplido, así que
and they're
27
all the joint committee
son
of
de
schools
el
and city
comité.
council.
Y
27 was a communication from
27 fue
Councilor
comunicación
Jordan
de
at the
Councilor
budget
Jordan
advisory report.
de que un reporte
28 was
28
that we reviewed
que nosotros
with school
revisamos,
leadership the final school budget for fiscal year
el
26 and final
presupuesto de la
appropriations.
escuela, el 2020 para el
29
26 y
was
29,
that the
de que
committee from
el comité
Superintendent
del
Soto
superintendente Soto
about Metcalf and the working group there.
se subió,
30 is
fue,
an order from
recibida
DESI
el
interim
grupo
commissioner,
de trabajo Metcalf.
HPS exit
Número
assurances.
el
31
Consejo
is
Municipal de la Escuela
from
que se
DESI
emitió una
final
orden
exit
del
assurances
comisionado
updated
Bachibure.
post meeting. 32 is
Memorando final de garantías de salida de HP. Y 32
communication to discuss resource
comunicación
officers, and 33
para hablar sobre
is an
recursos
order
y oficiales.
to review
Y
the
33
opening of Peck
es que
School. All of these were complied with.
conjunto de la
Councilor
escuela,
Jordan?
Yes, Madam President, so let me just kind of walk through these here. Relative to item number 27,
liderazgo escolar,
this was the
la
School
puerta,
Budget
la
Advisory
nueva
Group
recomendación.
report.
Y
This
eso
was
se
all
fue
taken in
reporte de la escuela.
consideration, met
Eso
for quite a
estaba
number of
tomado en
months,
consideración.
relative to making recommendations to the school department as they considered their budget. Most of all the estimates that went into the budget were close to final numbers, but they did inform us that it looks like there is going to be a shortfall of about $363,000 at this point that the city may have to come up with, that we're in jeopardy of being short, that the state did not give us as much funding as was in originally our budget books. So they're crafting a solution to that $363,000 shortfall. Relative to item number 28, we took a look overall at, as I stated, the final numbers, but in addition to that, we reviewed state and federal grants that are received through the fiscal year. The only thing here, it looks like the state grants were more or less on target. I did point out that the superintendent mentioned to us that the school department receives over $9 million in federal grants. So as you know, there was a question relative to Holyoke being named as a sanctuary city previously. Fortunately for now, Holyoke is not on that list. So that's been a blessing. At this point, it was originally 15 cities or towns in Massachusetts were on that list. Currently now it was revised to just Boston. So the good news is this $9 million is not currently in jeopardy, at least on that issue, unless there's going to be some other cuts. There's $5.2 million in Title I funding. There's disabilities funding of about $2 million, and then there's a series of other federal grants. So we're hoping to preserve all of those federal funds. Relative to item number 29, on the Metcalf working group, let me just go to my notes on that. They did come to a final recommendation if you do review that, and it's my understanding that they've already put in a program there for there, and that is their program relative to helping students who were at risk and at sort of older age to continue to work to get their high school diploma. It's a phenomenal program, and we're very supportive. And now they have a permanent home from that, and they were able to their credit, school leadership was able to make a number of moves in order to save some other leases and other funds that they were spending outside of that in other programs. And so by moving that program to MedCap, they were able to save some lease funding. On item number 30, relative to the exit assurances from Commissioner Patrick Tutwiler, that was very interesting discussion. There's a number of strategic priorities that the state has outlined over the next 2 years that DESE wants the city to follow as part of them removing receivership. So basically, most of them revolve around the big ones, and we might have heard some of this in the news. There's some issues relative to collective bargaining, different changes having to be approved by the superintendent. There's a number of these. I would recommend that if you have a moment to take a look at those exit assurances that the state articulated. So not surprising, I guess the best way I could call it is you're sort of like on probation, if you will. You have to do these different things that they're giving us back, the school district, but these certain ongoing requirements. Very important, and the school department feels that they have those well in hand to comply with all of those. The next item up is item number, and by the way, 30 and 31 cover that same topic, so I won't go further into 31. 32 is a communication from myself, and it's regarding resource officers for the new Peck Middle School. We received a communication on this item. This was requested by, and I put it on the agenda, but it was requested by some of our school committee colleagues, and they wanted to have that discussion. So one is that the high school has their own resource officer, Dean has a resource officer, and the two middle schools, Sullivan and Peck, are sharing a resource officer, who I believe is Sergeant Leahy. And got a chance to see him today at the ribbon cutting too. Very nice man. So next up on the list is item number 33. And this is relative to, is everything on track with the Peck Middle School? This obviously we now know is on track. They worked exceptionally hard to get us to the point that the school could be open for opening day, and as the president well articulated, we had a beautiful ribbon cutting today. So yes, everything is on track with that, and that concludes the committee reports. So we could approve 27 through 33 as a package, please.
Councilor Greeny.
Just quickly, I was in attendance at that meeting as a member of the committee, and I found that the superintendent Soto was very well informed. They were very well informed. The data was really up to date. One of the most important things that we did mention with the Peck Middle School, as you have probably seen today, was the pathway, the road from Peck Middle School down to the high school, was going to improve conditions considerably for the students that are walking up there, and the bus accesses and so forth. That was a major problem for many years between the high school and Peck School, and that's been solved, so that's a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you. But will it build character? I'm just kidding. All right. On the motion to approve, I don't see any other discussion, so all those in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Do you want to do... Let's see. Oh, wait, we had one more? No.
34 and 35.
We're on 34, right? Okay. Should we do 34 and 35 as a package? Motion to suspend the rules, take item 34, 35 as a package. All those in favor? Any opposed? I'll just briefly read them into the record. They are both given a leave to withdraw. 34 is a communication from the mayor appointing Mr. Joseph Charles Mazzola to serve on the local historic district commission. And then 35 is a letter appointing Heather Leanders to serve on the commission on disabilities. Councilor Anderson Burgos?
Yep, I'll be quick. So 34 is he was just filling a gap. That's what his leave to withdraw. And 35 due to personal matters, she could not commit.
Circunstancias personales, ella no podría comprometerse.
All right. Any other discussion?
¿Alguna otra
Okay, so all those in favor of giving leave to withdraw to 35 or 34 and 35?
34 y 35.
Aye.
Yo.
Any opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
Okay. 36.
36.
So,
sorry. It's the Committee on Public Service, to whom was referred a communication from the mayor appointing Megan Connolly to serve on the library board. Recommended that the appointment be confirmed. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
So 36 and 37 should be a package because it's the same person.
Oh, okay. So motion to suspend the rules. Take 36 and 37 together. And all those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, so they are the same, and one is that's complied with and one's confirmed. So, Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Yep, so 36. I'll just be very brief. She was a perfect candidate. She came in. She said she was treasurer of board of directors. She also noted she had 10 years of experience in various financial roles. And I found her very pleasing, and so did the rest of the committee. If any of the committee members would like to speak on that matter.
Thank you. Anyone want to add anything? Okay. So the motion is to approve. All those confirm. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Confirmarse, todos en favor. ¿Alguien se opone? Okay.
38.
38. Yep, you're right.
Okay. 38 is the Committee on Public Service. A letter from the mayor appointing Miss Margaret Whitehead of 160 Pearl Street to serve on the library board. Recommended that the appointment be confirmed. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Yep. Again, briefly, so Miss Whitehead came in, and she had been born in Amherst. She said, so she's, which is what she studied, writer, editor, researcher, and educator in the area. And she emphasized she had a passion for libraries. So that was good enough for me, and I believe good enough for the rest of the committee. It was voted out committee 3-0.
Anyone else? Okay, on the motion to confirm. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, with that you've passed 38. 39 is a letter appointing Christian Carde Guzman of 203 West Franklin Street to serve on the Citizens Advisory Committee. Recommended that the appointment be confirmed. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Yep. Mr. Carde Guzman was very, very impressive. I have a lot of notes here because of time. I'm just going to... He was an amazing candidate. We all voted yes, 3 out of 0 out of committee to approve this this candidate.
I'll second the committee report.
Anyone else? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. All right. 40 is a letter from the mayor appointing Christopher Gothier to serve on the local historic district commission. Recommended that the appointment be confirmed. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Yep, again, brief. So, Mr. Gothier also has a history on history. So this was a perfect. Actually, he also served as the CPC. And as well as a Wisteria. So he's very well known in other. Yeah, he's very well known in throughout the city. So we all confirmed him 3-0.
Anyone else?
¿Alguien más?
I'll second the committee report.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Voz en favor, no se opone.
Thank you. All right. Item 42.
41.
I'm sorry. Where did I go? Oh. Sorry, they were stuck together. 41 is the Committee on Public Service, to whom was referred a communication, a letter appointing Ms. Ladi Ruia, of 15 Portland Street to serve as the Director of Veteran Services, effective date April 28th, 2025. Councilor Anderson Burgos?
Yep, this was a no-brainer. We all know. If you don't know who Ms. Rua is, then you need to come to more meetings or just show up. She was great, amazing. None of us had any doubts that she would not be successful in this position. So we 3-0 out of committee. So we approved.
Anyone else?
Adopt the committee report.
Councilor Graney?
Absolutely great candidate.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, on the motion. Oh, I'm so sorry, Councilor Bartley.
So a great job by committee. I did have a chance to watch one half of that meeting, so at least I caught, and I couldn't agree more with the chair. And just another brief comment that we want to thank the volunteers. Juan always does. Yeah. He always does. But we want to thank them because we can't run the government without them.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, on the motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We are on 42. Okay, the Committee on Charter and Rules, to whom was referred an order that the following charter change be adopted. Charter Section 39, City Solicitor, amend from the City Solicitor shall perform those all legal services in which the city is interested and attend to all proceedings at law or in equity to which the city is a party, and to all claims made to the City Council. For these purposes, he shall have sole charge of such matters and proceedings. He shall give in writing his legal opinion upon any of the municipal affairs of the city upon the request of the mayor, City Council. In addition, shall give his opinion upon the law related to municipal affairs in any department upon request made by the head of such department. 2, the city solicitor shall perform those legal services in the city as the City Council shall establish by ordinance. He or she shall give in writing their legal opinion upon any of the municipal affairs of the city upon the request of the mayor or City Council, and in addition shall give his opinion upon the law relating to municipal affairs in any department upon the request made by the head of such department. Recommended that the order be adopted. Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee report on 42, we went back and forth on what the changes were, specifically that it is a way of taking the powers that are outlined to the city solicitor, and shifting it to being those powers and responsibilities are instead outlined in our city ordinances by the City Council, and that the work of the city solicitor will be based not on a sort of unshakable power in the charter, but will be based on legal upon the request of the mayor or the City Council. So it is a significant change to where the power that our law department comes from, and also the powers that they have. or could potentially have, because of course the body could then of course choose to revise the ordinances to outline more specifically what they want the law department to do or not do. So it is a significant change. We heard folks who sort of named wanting the law department to be treated like other departments in the city, not wanting them to sort of be above other departments, and wanting the city council to have the capacity to outline clearly what they want the law department to be able to do or not do in city ordinances. And then there were other people who named is sort of the wanting of there being independent, sort of almost a judicial power. So I think that it's something that is really important for folks to consider where they fall on it. I know that in attendance at this meeting was myself as the chair, and also to my left, Councilor Bacon, who's a Criminal Rules Committee member. Councilor Jordan had proposed many of these changes, was able to come and elucidate his opinions, and also we had Carmen Ocasio in attendance and Councilor Devine. But I know that there were other folks who felt like they wish they had been able to come and were not able to come. I know that as chair, I did call the meeting quickly, within 40 hours of, it was following open meeting law, but there wasn't a whole lot of notice. And so there were folks who I think maybe also want to share their opinion. They may want to share them here. I had some folks who asked if we would debate it here, whether we would table it for now, because we know that there are other things coming in ordinance, and that we may in fact want to table all the charter and rules orders until our next meeting, and then take them up all together as a package as they're intended to be. And some elements of this are in ordinance and will be taken up. I know the ordinance chair has unfortunately had to step out.
He's on Zoom.
He's on Zoom.
He's on Zoom, and Councilor Givner is on Zoom as well.
So through the Madam President, to the chair, or maybe to Jeffrey, our assistant, the next ordinance meeting is the 9th?
The 10th.
The 10th. And I know that those items that are in connection, that we're still waiting to be discussed, are going to be in the ordinance meeting on that meeting. And then we could bring all of it together to the next meeting. But to the will of the body. The committee report was to adopt, but I also know that a number of folks have reached out to me since and said, I wish I had been able to weigh in on that, or I'm not comfortable voting on it at this time, given that we're still waiting for some of the pieces of this to come to ordinance.
Thank you. I have a few people, and just, okay, so I have Councilor Devine, I have Councilor Graney, and Councilor Jordan. I think that was it for now. Okay, so Councilor Devine.
Yeah, I can't remember. Did we have somebody from the law department at that meeting?
Yep, Mr. Bissonnette was there.
Attorney Bissonnette was there.
Okay, and what was his comments, if any?
I'm not rehashing, we're not rehashing Attorney Bissonnette's comments. With all due respect, that we might as well just have another committee meeting. I apologize, but I'm not doing that right now. I apologize, but I can't.
No apology necessary. I'm just going to vote no.
Okay. Councilor Graney?
Yeah, just quickly, Madam Chair, you probably made
Can you make sure you're speaking into the microphone?
Yeah, you probably made the correction. I'm not sure, but in the second tier, the third line from the bottom, shall give his opinion upon the law. Should that be his or her opinion?
I mean, I agree.
Yes. Motion to amend.
Motion to amend. I mean, yeah, so this is 42. Says he or she. Oh yeah, so shall give his or her opinion upon the law. Okay, so that's an amendment. Let's vote on the amendment.
Okay.
All those in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Okay, and then I have Councilor. Thank you. I have Councilor Jordan.
Yeah, I'll speak briefly, because then I think I'm going to end up supporting the motion to table. And I do, one, appreciate the mayor reaching out to me to today to let me know. He says he thinks people need more time. I do appreciate working closely with the mayor on the modernization package. He's been really, very, very good to work with, and I appreciate the mayor in that regard. So, and he feels not everybody feels comfortable just yet, so more time needed. No problem. On this particular one, I'll simply say what this change is about is to make the law department like all the other departments. This is nothing extraordinary. It's extraordinary, and to the extent that this is a change that's probably 100 years overdue, and in its practical effect, particularly for this department, because they interpret the rules and give the legal opinions. Under the current wording, they could essentially say whatever is in or out of their own scope of responsibility. We don't do that for any other department. We have ordinances to say what the DPW does. We have ordinances that say what the police department does, right on down the line. You name the department, we have ordinances that establish all of those particulars. We already have an ordinance that speaks to the law department, but during this own process, we've had times where we wanted to make an amendment to the law department's ordinance, and we've been precluded through legal opinions from the law department saying, well, we feel it conflicts with Section 39 of the Charter. And we've heard this argument before. So it's long overdue as to basic good government that every department of this city should be accountable through its elected leadership in the making of their duties is set by ordinance, which is adopted by the council and the mayor. This is true at the federal level. The United States judiciary is completely set. Their scope of authority is set by Congress, all the way down to how many judges are in the federal judiciary. How many people sit on the Supreme Court all the way down? And this is true in Massachusetts for the state courts. It's set by the state legislature. It's all part of this checks and balance process. So anyways, this is what this one, and the only thing that's changing is the first two sentences of the current charter. And the new one basically says, because in the old section it says, the city solicitor shall perform all legal services in which the city is interested and attend to all proceedings at law or in equity to which the city is a party and to all claims made to the city council. For these purposes, he shall have sole charge of all such matters and proceedings. And we've had some law departments take a very broad interpretation of essentially they dictate what's under their own sole charge. This now, on the other hand, makes it consistent to say the city solicitor shall perform those legal services in the city as the city council shall establish by ordinance. So anyways, that's what's at discussion on item 42. I will, however, unless anybody else wants to speak, happy to wait on my motion, but.
Yeah, so it's 9:58, so I'm thinking if we table, are we tabling everything?
All the charter and rules committee reports is going to be the motion, yes, all of them.
Okay.
And that will wait for people to have more time to review and to feel comfortable.
Okay. Got it.
Well, that's the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to lay items 42 through 57. 42 through 57 on the table. I'm going to do like a super brief, abbreviated. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, before this all wraps up, can I have a motion to
extend by 15 minutes?
Motion to extend our city council meeting by 15 minutes.
The purpose of this vote and making sure we're moving everything to committees?
Okay.
asegurando que todo se mueva a los
Motion's been made and
trámites.
seconded to suspend the rules and
Moción se ha hecho y segunda
extend the meeting by 15
para
minutes.
extender al menos
All
por
those in
15
favor?
minutos. ¿Todos en favor?
Aye. Any opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
Okay, so 42 through 43. I already read 42. 43 is
43
charter
es,
revision to sections
la
19
revisión.
and 34. 44 is a charter revision
de
to section 13. 45 is a charter revision to section 14. 46 is a charter revision to sections 22. 47 is a charter revision to section 24. 48 is a charter revision to section 41. 49 is a revision to section 49 of the charter. 50 is in order to revise section 53 of the charter. 51 is in order to revise, create administrative and finance department. 52 is in order that city council adopt the substitute municipal modernization ordinance. 53 remain in committee. 54 is that section 12 of the codes of ordinances and charter be updated. 55 remain in committee. 56 is in order that charter changes related to municipal modernization package be adopted. 57 is that Rule 8 be amended. Laid on the table. All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, I will not be allowing any discussion on like anything. So, if unless we have to vote on it tonight, then we're sending it to committee. Sound good? That wasn't a motion. That was just like I'm declaring this a thing. But I appreciate the support. Love it. Got it.
Appreciate the spirit of it for sure.
Yes, absolutely. 58 is filed by Councilor Bartley that the City Council issue a proclamation to Donovan's on both its 25th anniversary in business and the 10th anniversary of the present owners. Receive and adopt. All those in favor? Any opposed? 59 is filed by Councilor Bartley that the DPW review the standard no parking from here to curb signs on both sides of West Glen Street where it meets Northampton. Receive and adopt, refer to DPW.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? 60 is filed by Councilor Bartley that the city engineer develop plans to slow traffic proximate to Elmwood Towers on South Street. Please note in 2024 there was a pedestrian fatality at.
The motion is to receive and refer to the city engineer and a copy of public safety.
Receive and refer to the city engineer with a copy to public safety. All those in favor? Any opposed? 61 is filed by Councilor Bartley that the city engineer review the parking situation on West Glen Street where it meets Northampton Street. Refer to ordinance and the city engineer. All those in favor? Any opposed? 62 was filed by Councilor Bartley that the city of Holyoke adopt a home rule petition to designate reduced motor vehicle speed within areas proximate to senior housing. In addition,
I'll send this in the draft resolution with it to a committee.
Okay. So send this and the draft resolution to DGR.
Yes, thank you.
All those in favor? Any opposed?
Quick question, just
Yes.
59 go?
Oh.
Just, I don't have my notes.
59 was received and adopted and the copy referred to DPW.
Thank you.
Okay. 63 is filed by Councilor Devine. Ordered that there be an appropriation or a transfer, of $47,269.36. Fire captain, fire lieutenant, firefighter to injured on duty.
And Madam President, if we can pass that tonight.
Is that the one that Joey Zerhad? But what's the one that? Hold on one second. What's the one that Councilor Zerhad emailed us about?
Yeah, of course. We always do.
Oh, the late files? Just kidding. Okay. Right? Okay, never mind. I'm sorry, I'm losing it.
Perdón, yo lo estaba perdiendo.
I'm losing it, yeah. Okay,
Okay,
so
entonces,
the motion,
la
I
moción-
apologize, the motion
y
is
la moción
to
para
pass are you making a motion to
hacer una moción,
suspend the rules
pass it
and,
para
tonight.
pasarlo
Okay.
We usually do that with injured on duty.
para
I understand, I just need a motion to
Sí,
pass
entiendo.
the first reading?
Moción para pasar la
Motion to
primera
pass the
moción
first
para
reading.
pasar la primera
All right,
primera
motion's been
lectura.
made and seconded
Moción se
to
ha
pass
hecho
the
y
first
secondada para
reading.
pasar la
All
primera
those in
lectura.
favor?
Todos en favor.
Aye.
Yo.
Motion to pass the second
Moción para
reading.
pasar la segunda
Motion
lectura.
to pass the second reading.
Moción
Do
para
you
pasar la
have
segunda
anything you
lectura.
want,
¿Quiere algo?
anything else, any discussion?
¿Alguna
I can't
discusión?
think of the word. Okay. So that was a motion to
Así
pass
que
the
se fue
second
la moción
reading.
para pasar la segunda lectura.
The clerk will call the
La
roll.
secretaría va a
I'm
llamar
losing it.
reglas.
Divine,
Yes.
Givner,
Divine, sí.
Yes.
Givner,
Rainey?
sí.
Yes.
Rainey,
Jordan?
sí.
Yes.
Jordan,
McGrath-Smith?
sí.
Yes.
McGrath,
Rufino
sí.
Belletti?
Yeah.
Mayor
Ocasio?
Belletti, sí.
Israel
Ocasio,
Rivera?
sí. Israel Rivera.
Keep
Jenny
going.
Rivera?
Jenny Rivera.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Bacon?
Sullivan.
Yes.
Sí.
Anderson
Bacon,
Burgos?
Yes.
Sí.
Hartley?
Anderson
Yes.
Bagel, sí.
Unanimous vote.
Voto
Okay,
unánime.
with that, you've
Ok,
passed
con eso lo pasamos,
63.
63.
All right, let's see. Order
Ok,
that there be
ordena
a
de que haya una
transfer,
transferencia.
of 64 is filed by
Que
Councilor Devine.
64
Order that there be a
por
transfer
Divine ordenar que haya una
of
transferencia
$55,000
de
from
$55,000
Senior Project Manager to Development Specialist.
de manejador
Refer
de
to-
To receive and
financiero
send to
a
finance.
desarrollo.
Yep, all right. Motion
Es
to
perfecto,
receive and
moción
send
para
to
para
finance.
recibir y enviar
All
las
those in
finanzas, todos
favor?
en favor.
Aye.
Any
¿Alguien se
opposed?
opone?
68
Así que
is filed by
68
Councilor
por
Devine.
el concejal
Oh, sorry,
Devine.
all those in favor? Did I say that?
Perdón, todos en favor.
I
yo
swear, I'm
dije
like,
algo.
I turned into a pumpkin at
It's
10 o'clock.
Realmente
All right,
me
Devine,
vuelvo-
item
me pongo
68.
mal después de la
Order
ley.
that the
Así
law
que
department
artículo
provide
68
an opinion
ordena que el
as to what the
departamento
decibel level should
del-
be when a religious group
de
receives a
leyes
permit to organize on their property with the following
recibir,
questions to be
que
answered.
provee
Would
cuáles
you
serán
like
los
to receive
procedimientos
and
Be
send?
received and sent to the
procedidos,
law department.
Second.
recibir y enviarlo al
Receive
departamento
and
de
send to the
leyes.
law
Recibir
department.
y
Councilor
enviarlo al
Bacon?
Can I
departamento de
just
leyes,
offer a
Councilor
friendly
Bacon.
amendment? Any
Solamente
group?
puede ser un amendamiento cualquier grupo.
Group it is, it's the noise issue,
Que
right?
It's a
solamente
religious group, I
es,
believe I
yo creo
put.
que yo
Yeah.
puse el
Right,
el
right.
Well,
grupo
maybe
religioso.
that could be discussed in
Discussed in the
committee.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yo creo que eso puede ser
All right,
discutido.
all those in favor?
Ok, todos en
Aye.
favor.
Any opposed?
¿Alguien se
Okay,
opone?
69 is filed by Councilors
69
Givner and
por
Anderson
concejal
Burgos.
Givner
Order
y
that the
Anderson
city
Burgos.
enact the
Ordena
proposed
que la
short-term
ciudad
rental
ponga
ordinance approved by the planning
una
board.
propuesta sobre
Send to ordinance.
renta a
All
corto
those in
plazo,
favor?
a corto
Any
plazo.
opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
70
Todo
is filed by
enviado
Councilor
a
Givner.
ordenanza
Order
70
that
por
the city
concejal
council
Givner.
authorize.
Ordena que el consejo de la ciudad.
72.
Yes.
Yo creo que
Package, please. Is
71,
that
70, 71, and 72 is a package
como paquete.
and sent to DGR.
Y enviarlo a DGR.
I'll just read them
Y
briefly.
solamente lo voy a leer rápidamente.
70 is
70
to authorize the sale
para autorizar la
of
venta
a parcel on
de una
Cabot
parcela
Street
en Cabot Street
for
por
$1,000.
$1,000.
71
71
is special
es
tax
especial,
assessment
una
and
asesoría especial
certified project application
y una,
resolution for
aplicación
AM
y resolución
Lithography Corporation.
para AM
And 72
Lithography
is filed by
Corporation.
Councilor Givner
Y
as well.
72
And this
por el concejal
is
Givner también.
that we authorize the
Y
sale
esto es
of
de que nosotros
106
autorizamos
Pine
la
Street.
venta de
And
106
those
Pine
are
Street.
being recommended to send to
Y
DGR.
eso ha sido recomendado
All those in
para
favor?
enviar a DGR.
Any
¿Todos
opposed?
en favor?
Okay.
¿Alguien se opone?
73 is filed by
Okay.
Councilor McGrath-Smith. Order
73
that
por
Old Bassett
concejal
Road be paved by the
McGrath-Smith.
city of
Ordena
Holyoke.
que
Send to
Old Bassett Road sea
Public
pavimentada.
Safety
To the city engineer.
with a
Yo
copy
creo
to the
que
city
es
engineer.
seguridad pública
All
y
those in
con una
favor?
copia como
Any
del
opposed?
ingeniero de la
74 is
ciudad,
McGrath-Smith.
todo que sea por el
Order that the
74.
city engineer and DPW report on the frequent flooding on Longfellow as to its severity and planned improvements to
informe
prevent
sobre
future
las
flooding.
frecuentes inundaciones de
Same
Longfellow.
public safety copy to city engineer.
Y también
Public safety with a
prevenir,
copy to city engineer.
futuras
All those in favor?
inundaciones,
Any
inundaciones,
opposed?
una copia para enviar
Ordered
a
75 is
la
from Councilor
ciudad
McGrath-Smith that the city
75
engineer report on possible improvements at the entrance to Woodmar Glen in order to safeguard life and property. Send to Public Safety with a copy of the city engineer. All those in favor? Any opposed? 76 is filed by Councilor McGrath-Smith. Order that the DPW remove the handicap sign at 71 Waldorf Street. It's no longer needed. Sent to ordinance. I don't think it has to go to ordinance. Does
Take
it?
it out of the book.
Okay, so
It doesn't have to go to disabilities.
Okay, so
okay, just to ordinance. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 77 is filed by Councilor McGrath-Smith. Ordered that West Cherry be paved by the city of Holyoke.
public safety, copy to city
Holyoke
engineer.
enviará
Public
a seguridad
safety with a
pública
copy to
y
the
con
city
una copia
engineer.
al
All those in
ingeniero
favor?
todos en favor.
Any opposed?
¿Alguien se
Same with
opone?
78.
Okay.
Actually, 78 I think has to
Yo
go
creo que
to public
78
safety
tiene
because
que ir a seguridad
acceptance
pública porque
and our
esa
rules goes
aceptancia
through
sin
public
nuestras
safety.
reglas va
Okay, so 78 is filed by
78
Councilor
por
McGrath-Smith.
McGrath-Smith.
Ordered that
Y
Cedar Hill
ordena
Road
que
be accepted as a public
Cedar
road.
Hill Road sea
Order
aceptada
if it
como
can't be
una,
accepted,
ruta
ordered that it be
pública
paved by the
si no
city
puede
of
ser
Holyoke.
aceptada, que
So
ordena
send
que tiene que
to
ser pavimentada por la ciudad de Holyoke.
Ordinance.
So it has to go,
Así que tiene que
you have to
ir,
get a petition by
tiene que
the
conseguir una
property,
petición
and then it has to go
y
to
luego
the
tiene
Board of
que ir
Public Works.
al
Did
trabajo
we
público
also
primero.
do it in
Y también lo
ordinance?
podemos hacer en ordenanza.
I can't remember
No
from
me
Lynn
acuerdo.
and Richard Eager.
It
I know
also
the
says
petition
Y
is
también
first.
dice,
it also says in our
y
rules, however,
también
which
dice
is
en nuestras reglas
in we'll come up to internal rules in
que va a
October
venir
that
en reglas internas
any
en octubre,
adoption
que
of a public
cualquier adopción
way
sobre
has to go
cualquier
through
manera
public
tiene
safety,
que
which
ir
I
a
haven't
través de
seen
seguridad
happen, but it is
pública,
technically in
pero
our rules.
técnicamente
Did
eso
go
es
to
lo que está en
safety,
nuestras
then it
reglas.
came back.
Y
I mean, it
aquí
was a
dice que
long,
si eso no ha venido,
convoluted process.
has to do a public hearing on it too.
So apparently we're sending it
así que
everywhere.
aparentemente lo estamos viendo todo
Like
el
I
mundo.
just heard 8 different bodies that
Como
have
yo
to look at
escuché
that.
8 diferentes cuerpos que
That's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Sí.
not
Not the order.
no es la orden.
Does the Board of Public Works have to hold a hearing too?
They do, we don't.
Where does
Okay.
it get sent
La
first?
Junta de
Folks, help me out. We've
Trabajo
done this before.
Público saben de esta orden.
Because I just heard
filed
5
a
options.
petition.
Yeah.
It went to public safety.
Fue a
Public
seguridad
safety sent it
pública.
back to
Y
council.
luego la
And it
seguridad pública la
also
envió
went
a
to the Board of
considerar y
Public
luego
Works.
también fue a
So public
That's
trabajo
it,
Comes
right?
back
público.
to city council.
So public safety
Así
first.
que seguridad
Needs
pública
a
primero.
petition still though.
First.
Okay.
You can send it
Yes.
for now.
Lo pueden
And
enviar
we-
por ahora
Committee and then wait for the petition.
y ni siquiera
That
tenemos
makes
que
sense.
esperar por la petición.
Public safety.
Eso tiene sentido.
The
Public
petition is-
safety.
petition
Ok,
is
la visa
coming, but
pública.
sure.
Right.
Ok,
I guess.
And
We'll
also,
refer it
can you
to-
please add Patty Devine's name to that order?
ok, me gustaría
Sure.
agregar a Peri de Ben también a esa orden. Claro.
All right, so we're sending this to public safety.
Ok, estamos
All
viendo
those in
seguridad
favor?
pública, todos en favor.
Any opposed?
Ahí se opone.
79 is
Así que
filed by
79
myself. Order that the
fue
position of
por
combined
ordenar
treasurer
la
tax
posición
collector is created by
mediante
ordinance and
ordenanza de
added to
puesto
Schedule
combinado
A,
de
grade
tesorero
14,
recaudador de
sent to
impuestos, se
ordinance.
agregue
All those in
a
favor?
cronograma
opposed?
y grado
80 is
14,
filed by
por favor,
myself. Order that the city
80,
council issue a proclamation
ordena que el
to
Consejo Municipal
Susan
emita
Turcott
una
Moriarty for
proclamación
being recognized
a
as a
Susan,
distinguished bar advocate by the Hampden
Moriarty
County
por
Bar
haber sido
Association.
reconocida como abogada
Sure.
distinguida por la
Receive and
Asociación de
adopt.
Abogados del Condado
All
de
right, all
Hampden.
those in favor?
Todos en favor.
Any
¿Y
opposed?
alguien se opone?
Thank you. So moved.
Ok,
I got it. Thank you.
ok.
81 is filed by
81
Councilor
por
Bacon.
Councilor
Ordered
Bacon,
that
que
a
ordena
portable
que
speed feedback
se
sign be
instale un
installed
radar portátil
on Homestead
en
Ave.
retroalimentación de la
Sent
velocidad
to
Receive, adopt, and
en
send to
Homestead Ave.
the HPD, please.
Receive, adopt, and send to HPD. All those in favor?
Todos en
Any
favor.
opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
82 is filed by Councilor
82
Bacon.
fue por Councilor
That
Bacon,
DPW
de que
engineer
el
evaluate Lower Charles Hill Road.
ingeniero evalúe
Send to
Receive, adopt, and send to DBW and the engineer.
Old Charles
receive,
Hill,
adopt, send to
recibir,
DPW and the
adaptado
engineer.
y
All those in
enviarlo al
favor?
pueblo y al
Any
ingeniero.
opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
83 is
83
Councilor Bacon.
el
That a
Consejo
salary
Bacon
range be established for the treasurer position as the appointment of the position rather
el
than
trato del
elective is
salario
approved by
sea,
voters. Sent to
será
ordinance. All those in favor?
que
Any
la
opposed?
designación del cargo
And
en lugar de
84
la
is a
elección y
communication from the
84
mayor
recomendación
about the
del
Holyoke
alcalde
Municipal
sobre,
Finance Modernization Bill.
La carta próxima
Receive,
necesita
send to
iniciativas,
ordinance.
recibir y enviar a la ordenanza.
What was that?
¿Qué?
I think we can just receive it.
Yo creo que nosotros podemos
Whatever you guys
recibirlo.
want.
Okay, motion received.
Motion to receive. All those in favor?
Todos en favor.
Any opposed?
¿Alguien se opone?
85 is
84.
from, it's
Es-
from the Conservation Commission. No,
la
wait,
Comisión de Conservación.
I can't really tell what this is.
Realmente no puedo ver lo que es esto.
Oh, sorry.
Send to DGR, please.
Well, so, if I may.
Yep, Councilor Bacon.
I'm just surprised we're getting this now, but it must have been in the loop. Because an attorney had reached out to me, they needed it for the closing on this property, but then I understand the closing has already happened.
Okay.
So, I don't know what we should do with this, but if he's on DGR, I guess we should look at it.
Yes, we can still send it to DGR, yes. All those in favor? Any opposed?
Motion to extend by 3 minutes.
Moción.
Why don't we just say 5?
Okay, motion to extend by
I'm not going to look at the clock. Sorry.
Motion to extend by 5 minutes.
Motion to suspend the rules and extend by 5 minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilor Jordan?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out there is some time sensitivities around this one, so just so DGNR and the council's aware, it's dated July 16th, and there's a 120-day notice. This is the rerun movie of the one that was out in West Holyoke recently. So this one here on Homestead is, this is through November, so just so we're aware, if we're going to exercise this option, or we have right of first refusal, this is a rerun movie, as I stated at the other one, so just so we're aware of that.
The next DGR meeting is Tuesday, so.
Cool.
Hopefully, and Councilor Givner says she's totally fine having a packed agenda if needed.
Pretty packed.
Thanks. Love it. All right, so anyone else?
Nope.
Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? 86 is from Anthony DeLude, Holyoke Retirement Board. Request that the treasurer pay federal taxes monthly instead of annually.
Receive and refer a copy to the treasurer.
Yeah, I want to make sure we send this to the treasurer because I don't think he actually was sent it, which I think is like kind of wild. So, yeah. And I think he deserves the opportunity to respond. So, Councilor Jordan?
Yeah, I just so you know, over the weekend I took the liberty to talk and give it to the treasurer because I felt it was fair to him. And Rory, just a couple briefly, Rory made it a point to say, we're not currently paying any fines, there hasn't been any filings missed or anything. I think what you have here, and I also spoke to Anthony DeLude, the retirement board's perspective on it is, historically, any of their IRS payments were being done monthly previously by the treasurer's office. They're concerned that that practice stopped and now it's being done on an annual basis. And they're concerned that, you know, anything goofs up, then you're into the realm of fines and penalties and interest, and they're just concerned that there's the potential for that more to happen if there's an annual filing versus a monthly filing that has historically been done. But in my view, having spoken to all involved, I think those two sides need to work it out. And it's kind of out of the purview of the city council, and they sort of all need to kind of figure it out together, what they're going to do.
So we'll send that to the treasurer. All those in favor? Any opposed? 87 is late file due to the clerk from Councilor Sullivan, House Bill 3754.
There's an order that's supposed to be with this also to approve a letter of support from the council supporting this.
Motion to table it till the next meeting so we can consider the other item.
Motion to table. Is there a second?
Next agenda.
Second.
Okay. All those, all right. All those in favor? Any opposed?
I abstained from the last vote, okay? Just thank you.
Let that be noted in the record. Thank you, Councilor Bartley. 88 is filed by Councilor Anderson Burgos. Ordered that the reverter requirement for the transfer of the property located at 689 Main Street be removed from the conditions related to the transfer of the property.
Send to DGR.
Send to DGR. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Second.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, everyone.
Seconded. All those in favor? Any opposed? So moved.
Have a good night.